that painted lady's house.
No.
Boom.
I think that made it on the live. That's
right when we hit live.
Hey, Sequence, did I hear the other day correctly that you dibble and dabble with glass?
I'm learning it. Yeah, wanting to learn it. That's my next passion project is putting a glass studio in my big garage I just got at the new house.
Oh,
so
damn, no shit.
Like I was just showing you this. I want to learn how to make probably start with like marbles and stuff because that's easy and actually in demand because Terp slurpers and stuff. So there might actually be a demand for my beginner level trash. So we'll see.
It's all beautiful. None of it's trash.
It's only beautiful if you make it decent, and it takes experience. I have a lot of respect for the guys that make glass. So
yeah,
it's a
tough.
cool thing.
It's very tough, but it's a beautiful art.
Yeah, that's something that I am interested in dedicating time to figure out. It's like learning how to play piano or learning how to paint or learning how to play guitar or whatever. All the guys that do glass really well have done it for like 20 years.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I really respected how much talent, art, and like equipment goes into freaking blowing glass, man. It's till that damn Netflix show, and then I got kind of addicted to that. So
fortunately, I know glass blowers because I have a lot of respect for them already, and they're like, you know, they can see it, I think, and I'm friends with a lot of them. So when I started telling them that I was getting interested in what they were doing and taking pictures and all of that sort of stuff, I've got one guy that has an extra torch set up at his place. So he's like, you can come over and try to do stuff whenever. And then as it progressed, he was like, you know, I could sell you this torch or, you know, whatever. And then he's going to hook me up with guys that have kilns and guys that have this and that, you know, all the hand-me-down pieces to get everything working. So we might be able to put a studio together nice and cheap. We'll see.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Cool.
Tell you what, man, be very careful with your eyes. I know a glass blower, Chillax, we bought a pipe from him, and he got some glass in his eye one time, and his eye has been fucked up for months now.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I've gotten, let's see, what's the worst thing that I've gotten in my eye before? I had metal drilled out of my eye once, but that glass would be a lot worse because it's not magnetic. So if you don't know, if you work, I imagine at least one person in this panel has worked in a machine shop before. If you get metal in your eyeball, that's what they do is they take a magnetic drill bit at the hospital and drill it the fuck out of there.
I've had my eye
drilled wake and bake, guys.
About twice a year, usually.
Yeah, it's not pleasant, but it's weirdly not the worst thing because your eyes heal super fast. And
only the first time is it bad because that first time you're not ready for that doctor to say, yeah, so hold your head really still and I'm gonna come at you with this drill. And they literally mean they're coming at your eye with a goddamn like
yeah. Dude, that's some saw shit right there. Fuck that.
And then so while you're not keeping your eyes right, while you're keeping everything steady, man, you actually see that dude get into your eye. Your eye gets all like, and you can hear the drill bog down and shit. You're like, oh my God, you're drilling my eye.
You better knock me out.
It's like the heavy segment at 9 in the morning.
No.
I let the dentist pull some teeth without like wanting to beat his ass, and I find that the most craziest thing I've ever let anybody do without reciprocating, you know, is rip my teeth out of my face. So, you know, never mind coming at me with a fucking drill to my eye. You need to knock me out. I'm not going to try to hurt you, but I can't resist. It's a flight or fight thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just don't want to be responsible for that.
Right. That's a weird story, Prophet. I feel like you normally let people do whatever they want to you.
You usually do. Usually do, as long as it ain't hurting anybody but me.
What box are we opening now?
We had the weirdest experience with a.
Hey, my dad's in the room.
Hey, Rick.
They tell him it's all about sex. Now, you know, they're telling him, look, we're going to drill into your eye and it's going to hurt like a bitch, okay?
Prophet calls Rick dad already.
Yeah, he started doing it on your show, actually. I think it was the other Wake and Bake.
Awesome. Hell yeah. That was fast. Rick's got game.
Dude, Rick's got major game, man. You know he's laying the pipe just right.
Oh, I remember
he even got me into it. He played me, man. You know?
I'll talk to you later. He was getting your mom's phone number. Now he's in.
Mom's in the bedroom still. She hasn't woken up yet.
I know, it's not her time. She's usually in bed till like 11.
Rick, relax.
You gonna make her breakfast after the show or what?
Yeah, really.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? How are you? Good to see you, Opie and Mrs. Opie. And you've got to
Hi.
tell me, is that your home back there? That's a beautiful little tiny home.
No.
No. That looks like a
It
very
doesn't
nice
even
house.
have a porch on it. I denied to live there.
I couldn't even see the house back there. I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, we're at our secret location that we took you on last time. The time
I thought they were sitting down and it was an outhouse.
I have bladder issues, guys. You know, I keep my outhouses closed.
Me
That's
too.
very understandable.
So close, it's in the
Very
house.
understandable.
Right. Well, you know, some of us are still living back in the day.
Oh, that would have to be the first thing I do. I need a toilet in my house, especially during the winter.
Okay,
I
we're
don't give a
not
shit.
even.
I don't even care.
we
How is this even a conversation?
Yeah, we're live.
Does anyone not
Okay,
have
well,
a toilet in their
first,
house?
First, I want to say, I'd like to say good morning to our special guest. Sequence, thanks so much for joining us. But damn it, you know, somebody says something, and wouldn't you know it, I go into my rant, a memory from long ago. So this goes back to, I was living in Saskatchewan, northern Saskatchewan, 60 years ago, and we had all the amenities like electricity and plumbing and so on, but my cousins lived even further in the wilderness, and they had electricity, and of course they had a TV, so they could get hockey night in Canada. That was the big event, and they also their water was came from a well, and the well was in the kitchen, or the pump was in the kitchen. So you didn't have to go outside to get the water. It was really cool. You just pump, and the water would come right up into the kitchen. And however, they had an outhouse, and the outhouse was behind the house. And the thing that I thought was very unique about this house was it had two holes. It was a two-holer, and I always thought, like, who in their right mind would ever have a crap with a neighbor? But what I learned,
your wife. What if it's your girl? Never into that problem.
Hey,
families used to be a lot closer back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many times I've been in the bathroom? My wife's like, "I need to use the bathroom." And I'm like, "Yo, bitch, I'm on it. Like, what do you want?"
Right.
Know how convenient that would be?
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah. You gotta let her sit on your lap, Prophet.
What I later on discovered was that there were two holes, correct? But
like I said, welcome to the shit show.
We were. He is Rick, by the way.
For the little kids, there was just the one, and then for the adults, there was the other. So, anyway,
for big butts and little butts. Okay, that makes
it
sense.
wasn't a hit
You
that
don't want to
hurt.
lose a kid in an outhouse.
The one hole had a sign on the top that said "wide loads only."
That was reinforced a little more.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for sharing that, because you know what? I mean, I don't really want to go use an outhouse, but I would definitely go back to the water pump and all that good stuff.
Well, forgive me, Mrs. Opie, forgive me. I have to finish my outhouse story. So,
okay.
We have to go back to remember that, like 60 years ago, it was a well,
different
how do
time.
It was a different time. It was a different time, and it was a time where you respected your elders, you respected your teachers, you respected law enforcement.
Right.
I figured you were gonna follow up. It was a different time with a bunch of racism stuff.
That too, and I really I'm going to think about another topic, but
in a galaxy far away, a long time ago. Okay, keep going.
Okay, I'm just about there. So, keeping in mind that, you know, respect of elders was the thing at the time. So what happened was my uncle was having a crap in the outhouse, and I had a cousin the same age, but he wasn't home at the time. Well, wouldn't you know it, he I guess when he went to sit down, his wallet fell out of his pocket and into the hole.
No.
No. So he came to me
You see
and
sequence in,
here's what I want
not
you
bad.
to do. Here's what I want you to do. I will grab you by the ankles and let you down into the thing. You just grab my wallet.
Whoa, how deep is this hole?
Well, if to my
30
right-
deep-
I mean, I was-
it's got to be deep enough so the shit don't build up your ass as you're pooping. So
I figured you could just look down there and like, you know, maybe hold a candle.
no, hold on. I want to hear. He's been lowered down into the shithole.
So that was one of the first times I had ever
Been face to face with shit.
no, first time I ever defied an adult, and I didn't say fuck you, but I said there's no way you're putting me down that hole. And so
Right. I respectfully decline.
See, I figured that was going to be his M. Night Shyamalan twist. It was that he was the kid in the hole.
I thought he was gonna be in the shit. Dude, that whole thing reminded me. You guys ever seen Cake? It's a TV show, and they have like little skits. And there was one where this chick dropped her phone in an outhouse, dude, and he was trying to retrieve it. It was so messed up. She tried to reach down, get it, and then like it's like a hole in the ground, and two boards go across, and that's how it works. So you stand on the boards or whatever. So she tried like hoisting her legs down after taking her shoes off to grab the phone. And right when she had the phone, she's lifting herself up between the two boards. One snaps and she falls in.
It's backwards.
And then it ends.
So Rick, how deep is a normal outhouse shitter hole? I thought these were normally like a few feet deep. I guess I've been to a lot of concerts and just figured it was a lot like a porta john.
They were 30 feet deep. 60.
No shit.
They were 30 feet deep.
Yeah, you got to think though. You don't want to be out there cleaning out the outhouse every week. You know what I mean?
Dude, I dropped bodies in there.
Okay, so
Yeah, how long does it take you to shit 30 feet?
Bodies would never be found.
I would have been dropping bodies and bombs like body.
I'm pretty sure, right? Those are like composting toilets. So if you think about it,
Right.
like composting outside, you needed a 4 foot by 4 foot at least to get your hot compost started, right? That's what they like to say. So, and then you want to dig it down at least another foot or two so you don't get fucking splashback. So I would imagine it's got to be at least a 6 foot hole, right?
Well, I figured you were able to go in the bathroom and be like, all right, Uncle Rick just took a shit. Like you'd be able to tell, you know what I mean? But if it was 30 foot, there's no way. You'd be like,
Well,
I don't know.
it's got to build up into a methane.
You're underestimating Uncle Rick. Shit.
That's why you can't smoke in
It's
the
always
outhouse.
going to smell like shit in there.
You
Always.
know it. You're gonna know it's Uncle Rick.
Unless you're spraying patchouli after you take a
50
shit.
foot, 100 foot, it don't matter. You know Rick's been there.
Well, Rick looks like he's normal.
I've been accused of being full of shit, but it's not true. Not true. So I really
I
don't
wore the
want
right sweater
this
today.
theme to go on this way. I figure if we start low, we can just work up. Okay.
This is
So-
perfect.
Good idea.
We are
good
serious. We're not even at ground level. We're in fucking like outhouse level right now.
No
So we're gonna
question,
make our way to
touche.
ground level. We'll start getting up there.
Apparently we're about 30 feet.
Yeah,
we're
I
about
heard we're 30 feet
down.
underground. So
Oh shoot. Good morning, everybody. Great to see y'all.
Good morning.
Morning, guys. Thank you all for joining and thank you for having me here. What's up, chat? I saw lots of hellos. I looked earlier and you had 17 people in chat, and for like the first 15 minutes of your show, it was just people saying hi to each other and good morning. It's quite the community that you have here. It's amazing.
thank you. It's tough to keep up with.
It is.
It went to chat and everything. I haven't even jumped in there yet.
And I always try to not disrespect people similarly, but like if I chat in a YouTube chat, right, it's on the show account, people know who I am, and like 20 people will say hi.
Yeah.
I say hi back to like 0 of those people because it would just be a mess in the chat. So no disrespect to any of those people ever. It's just I don't want to be a sideshow on somebody else's show. Of course, today, hello to you all because I'm here, but if I was just watching, that's what happens a lot.
It's all about you today, brother.
Well, ask me a question. What do you got?
How you liking the new house and how's the grow coming along? How's like the setup and everything?
Oh man, the grow is awesome. So I set up a reservoir in my basement, and I'm on my ground level right now, and then I have a second story house. Okay. My grow room right now is all the way up in the second story. So I set up a res. It's temporarily there until I finish
You're doing the
building out.
ballsy second story, huh?
Yeah, until I can build out my grow room. So I have a panda filmed room in my second story of my house because I had an extra bedroom because I got money like that.
Did you
And
pond liner the floor?
No, I did not. It's not either way. I put a res in the basement and then ran irrigation all the way from the basement upstairs. So now I can time the water and I can have it irrigate the water in the second story grow room with the Netafim sprayers on a timer and stuff. And that's really cool. So I just got to get a little bit bigger res and, size it all out appropriately so that I have, so what I like to do now is since my water mix is the same all the time in flower, I'm going to go from like my 20-gallon res that I know lasts me 4 days or whatever to like a 50-gallon res. So I know that I can get, a week at least out of a res, that sort of deal.
What size of a pump would you use, Sequence, to run your water up 2 floors?
I'm using a Mondi half horsepower pump. So it's Mondi is the brand. It's a half horsepower submersible pump. Works really, really well as long as the air is all primed out of the pump, which is common for any water pump. It pushes the water all the way up through 2 floors, and then I have 18 plants. So I have 18 plants worth of emitters and stuff up there, and it pushes the water through those just fine.
And do you water once a day or more than once a day?
At the start of flower, I water once a day at the beginning, like when when your lights turn on. So like you would hand water, right? But I water in 3-gallon pots with synthetic nutrients. So I water in tiny pots. A lot of people wouldn't do that. So I'll end up watering by the end of the cycle up to 5-6 times a day during lights on. So I'll water for like 20 seconds, my first watering, and that'll get you to run off. And then all of a sudden you'll realize your plants are big enough that 20 seconds of water doesn't give you runoff anymore, right? So then you need more water. So then I will time in another watering. So like I'll split my light cycle in half. So I'll make another watering, 6 hours later. And then that watering will surely make them run off, right? Because it's double the quantity of water they had before. But eventually that quantity of water, they won't run off anymore. So then I split my 12-hour light cycle into 3 pieces and add another watering. And obviously that'll make them all run off. And you keep doing that until you have enough water all the time. And the plants like it a lot because it gives you a really consistent root zone, and they grow really well that way.
Are you watering in cocoa?
Yeah, 70-30 cocoa. So 70% cocoa and 30% perlite. I'm also trying to do some other stuff like a 100% cocoa mix. I'm excited about trying to do that. I tried to do it and hand water it when I was a lot newer of a grower. And I'm starting to think that I wasn't picking up all the correct signs, because people will tell you that cocoa will drain water really well. But that's not necessarily true. What's good about the cocoa is that it retains water really well, actually. And people kind of get it backwards or they're misunderstood about it. The perlite obviously makes it drain. But
doesn't the perlite just help for the compaction? So it doesn't compact down on top of the roots. So with 100% or with 100% cocoa, you might just have to water a little bit less so it doesn't compact so hard down on top of everything and choke it out, right?
Right. I haven't tried it yet, but Spartan, and I respect Spartan a lot. They're trying it at Mitten Canico, and he said they're having good results with 100% cocoa. So for me, if the results are comparable, I would rather cut out the perlite because I think it's a really wasteful thing. Perlite, if you put it in your garden, it runs down the street, runs into your neighbor's yard. It's like it's got to be an environmental hazard of some sort. So if I can just use cocoa by itself, that would be much better. So that's what I'm going to try to get towards eventually.
Have you ever considered adding worm castings to that mix?
I haven't. I don't do anything, not to disrespect anybody, but in the indoor grow, I don't really do anything organic in there. Like the goal of the media is to hold the water and nutrients in the roots for as long as possible. And then provide adequate aeration. Because cocoa, when it's got that perlite in there, that 70-30 mix, I could run water over it 24 hours a day and the plants would grow fine, because it has enough oxygen in the roots, so the roots won't get smothered out even when it's been watered recently. And that's the big difference from soil. So that's why I can water 6 times a day and the plants don't care. So I don't do like worm castings. I don't do microbes even. A lot of the guys that run cocoa or synthetic will run specific different sorts of microbes. So I'm interested in doing some more of that, but I did testing with that in different rooms and didn't really see a big difference. And then also I don't use really any additives in my nutrients. So if the plant's genetics aren't good enough, I just kick that plant out and get a different one that runs stronger and better. So I don't run any like bud swell stuff. I don't run any sugar stuff. I don't run silica.
What brand of nutrients do you use?
I run Jax 321. So it's by J.R. Peters is the parent company of Jax. And they make Jax Part A, which is, this is all from memory, a 5-12-26. And then I use a Jax Part B, which is, I think, a 1500 or a 1200. It's a nitrogen cal nitrate. And then I use Epsom salt. Then I mix it 3 grams per gallon, 2 grams per gallon, 1 gram per gallon. So it's really easy to mix. I mix the same nutrient solution from veg to the end of flower. So it's really simple on my stoner brain. And the plants always come out looking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that Jax 321 is fairly, like I feel like that Jax 321 is like the Coots mix for organics, for the hydroponic side. You know what I mean?
A lot of people don't know about it yet.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like I was talking to grow room guys, or like guys who own like shops who hadn't heard of it, or they had heard of it, but they haven't found it or had no clue how to use it.
Yeah, if you work at a shop, you're not going to know a lot about Jax because they can't make money on Jax. So you can buy 1 bag of Jax and it'll last you 3 years or longer, 5 years. So as a grocery store employee, they have no advantage to learning about that. Like that puts them out of business almost. But I grew the plant behind my head with Jax, and it's really frosty. People don't complain about it. If I didn't tell you that it was from that source of nutrients, you wouldn't know. Like all the stuff that every hydro grower would tell you. I don't got to blow the smoke up your ass, but we can smoke someday, and you'll see. I'm really proud of my flower for sure.
That's a beautiful flower. No, I liked what you. Shit, hold on. I got to get my thought back together. I'm stoned already this morning.
I've been growing for quite a while, and he just actually switched one of his tents over to the Jax regimen because he's been hearing you guys talk about it a lot.
Yeah, if you're gonna get the smallest bags you can find, because you can try it out without getting the 25-pound bags. That's how they sell it. J.R. Peters is a agricultural company. They're not a cannabis company. They're made for the farmer that farms corn behind your house or whatever. So everything they sell is by the pallet. It's by huge sandbags, and that's how you get it. So I've had bags of Jax I've had for 2 years now, and I grow at a bigger scale than most home growers. So I'm really proud of how cheap it is. We calculated it out, and it's 4 cents per gallon for your nutrient water. Wow. So it's hard to beat that with any other. The only cheaper one that I've ever found was Floraflex, and that's if you've got a pallet at a time with a discount. So at the consumer level, the Jax is the most affordable one, and it seems like they run the least amount of additives. So if you get interested in it, they use Tribus for microbes, most of the guys, and then like PowerSci, a monosylic acid, MSA for silica.
Actually, I remember what I was saying. I like what you were saying, like you grow a strain, and if it does not work for your system, you just boot that shit out. And on your show, you've made no bones about it. You've got some fire ass, you've got a little bit of hype strain in there, and that's actually a testament to even the hype strains, that they're not little bitchy strains that are looking for, to be pampered and stuff. Because I've definitely run into a couple of those, and I hate that shit.
Yeah, it depends on the strain, and a lot of them that I'm growing now, I don't know yet. So I have apple fritter in my flower room. I haven't flowered it before, but I've heard that it yields really well and it gets really big. Hopefully it doesn't grow like shit with all of the rest of my plants, right? But at the same time, I do grow, like, I'm growing a strain that I bred myself. So you can't get much further away from a plant like apple fritter than that. That's basically a bag seed, right, in the breeder world. So it's an interesting thing. I got respect for all the genetics. I still grow seeds that I popped a couple years ago because they were so good, and I still cut strains all the time. But I haven't flowered out a lot of those hype ones that you heard about. But like when you do hear about a strain, I like to talk about GMO like this because GMO goes long in flower. It goes 77 days. So when you hear about good growers that keep GMO around, especially at 77 days, to you, me, and everybody, you go, damn, that's a long time. So I like to remind people that the plant must be really special for everybody to be willing to grow it for a long time. So it's one of the ones that's kind of above the bullshit, so to speak. Mac 1 is a lot like that. A little bit less, in my opinion, though. Mac grows really slow, so it can be kind of a pain to keep around in your garden. But GMO kind of always have its place because it grows big and huge and stinky and it washes well and all of that stuff. So
Yeah,
like they're not always
kind of just the best of everything.
Yeah.
When well, not the best, but it's really good
it's
at
right
everything.
up there. It's really good at everything. The guys that are on the panel and stuff, they don't think that it's the best smoke necessarily. Like they like different crosses of GMO. But the stuff that it brings to the table, the genetics that it comes from, chem and everything, that's my favorite stuff.
It's got the Arise in it as well, doesn't it?
GMO is garlic cookies. So
garlic cookies.
Yeah. I can't remember the original. It was Chem Dog or Chem D crossed with Girl Scout cookies, I believe is the original cross.
I enjoy it. I enjoy growing it. I love the yield from it. Density, structure, the whole nine. I thought it was a great grow. I got one going in the flower in a week.
Forever, man. Stretches forever. I love it.
Yeah.
If you're ready for it, you can really make it yield, and all of the buds are up to snuff. They're dense and frosty and worth it. The cross that I made is growing right alongside the GMO in my flower room. They're like this. Whoa, I screwed up my green screen.
If I could I just want to make a quick comment too. We were talking about the watering and the frequency of watering. I've been led to believe, I certainly could be wrong about this, but that every time you water, the plant will take up what it requires, what it needs, what it wants, and that's it. And of course, that's how you get nutrient buildup in your soil. But what, so
sort of. So like the nutrient buildup comes from lack of runoff. So I can water as many times as I want in a day as long as water always comes out the bottom of the pot. So like when I was talking about why you increase frequencies, because you stop getting runoff. When you stop getting runoff, what happens is you have dryness in your pot, and then your salt starts depositing in your media. And you don't want that to ever happen because that's how you start burning your plants.
I use the same system, and but as far as the frequency goes, I've been led to believe that, like I just said, the plant will only take up what it needs, wants, or requires. The rest is left there. And of course,
so the frequency is an interesting. I don't want to interrupt you. Frequency is an interesting thing. Like soil, the reason why you would water every other day is for the roots to get oxygen, so the plants don't die. So if you water in soil too often, you will run into overwatering conditions. Everyone knows what that is, right? And that's what you would be like, why would you water 5 times in a day? That seems like overwatering. Well, in soil, that would be overwatering because the roots will actually suffocate and your plants will start drooping and they will die. In cocoa, that doesn't happen. I can water, and immediately after I water, the roots still have enough oxygen in them. That's what cocoa is good for. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I didn't kind of extrapolate on the idea. But that's the point, is that I can water 5 times a day and not have a detrimental effect. But that's just because of the perlite and cocoa. If you were doing that in like a peat mix and tried to do that, you'd run into a lot more problem.
Yeah. The point I just wanted to make was, so the plant only uptakes nutrients that they need, want, or require when they're watered, when they're fed.
I disagree with that personally. So
Okay, well,
I think
let
the
me
plants
finish my
uptake
thought, and then I'll let
everything.
you debate it. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just thinking, if we are watering, if I'm going to be watering 6 times a day, then okay, first watering, the plant needed some nitrogen, and the second watering, it can decide maybe what it wants, needs, or requires, and it can take it up. So you're giving
Sure.
it 6 opportunities a day.
More opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Well, along that theory, that would definitely work. But and that's still kind of the principle, right? So every time you water, you're ensuring that all of your media is perfectly saturated with the perfect nutrient solution, right? So that if the plant needs whatever, it's always available. So like that does fit that mentality. But the original part of the question, like, I don't believe that when you water, the plant chooses to uptake anything. So I've had organics and synthetic grown cannabis that taste bad. Like I've had people overdo fish emulsion in organic fertilizing, for example, and your flower will taste like fish. So if the plant could decide not to uptake fish and taste like shit, I like to assume that it would do that. Or like we know very well that hemp and cannabis is a bioaccumulant. You can use it to remediate soil and stuff. They grow it outside of places to pull up like lead out of the soil and things like that. So that means that the plant's uptaking basically everything that it's planted in my opinion. So everything that I put in there is very carefully calculated, and for the same reason that you do in a soil grow, it's very calculated because the plant will uptake it at basically everything that's in that soil. The same reason why you can't pour bleach in the ground, right? Because your plant will uptake it and die. Or you can't, put lead paint chips in your soil because it can't really truly decide, in my opinion.
Good point.
Lead's never hurt nobody, man.
I feel like the roots are more like an IV, man. The roots go in, and then whatever is in that media is going to be steadily streamed to your plant.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of the density of the amount of whatever you put in there. And then Spartan said something real great too, like it's all about the oxygen. When you water that many times, you're just driving more fresh oxygen down into that cocoa. And
yeah, it's definitely very relevant. And that's one of the reasons why we do it. But you could try, if you watered 5 times a day in your soil pot, it would still die.
Yeah.
So that amount of introduced oxygen isn't what saves them. It's the ratio that it can actually hold. It's kind of both, but in my opinion, the second one is more important because, the plant's staying alive.
That's the real difference is all the extra organic matter in the soil just compacts down on top of it. When you start watering like that, you just create mud. You don't want fucking mud.
Right.
Whereas, that cocoa, it stays separated and it'll stay granular. So that's why you can, really soak that stuff down real nice and easy.
Well, I wasn't trying to start an argument for the chat's sake. The chat thinks that I was trying to argue with Rick or whatever. I do think there's a very common growing thing that people will think that like organic soil, the plants only uptake what they want, right? They'll say that a lot. Or in hydroponic soil, I'm force feeding the plant everything that I put in the water, right? But I've had organic stuff that if you pour in too much fish shit, you pour in too much fish emulsion, you can actually taste it in the flower. And I imagine you've had bad organic flower. If you've been an organic grower, you haven't done it perfect every time either. And the same way I haven't done it perfect every time. So it's all interesting talking points, but I do think that the plants will they'll uptake fucking everything, radiation out of the soil. So we got to be careful what we put in there.
I mean,
that's why we test for heavy metal.
Yeah, there's plants that super show it. You can buy flowers that they just dye the water, and the dye transfers into your flower. I mean, that should tell you that whatever's in that water will get transferred over to your plant. So be careful with what you do. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. Good point. Another reason that I've a quick question then that do you, when you water like numerous times a day, do you water each time to run off or just the first and last, or how does that work with you?
I water every time for the same amount of duration. So if I water the one time a day at 20 seconds, I'll water 2 times a day at 20 seconds or 5 times a day at 20 seconds. And the goal is to have runoff every single time. Because basically what it does is, you know, as you add each watering, you're is a math equation. You're adding the amount of water you water every day, right? And it evenly spreads it out. So if you weren't getting runoff in your second watering of the day, by being over your quantity of water that's in the container, you're always going to be at like that threshold where it's ready.
What percentage do you shoot for in runoff?
Not a lot, like 10% or maybe even less sometimes. But the lower you go, the more you risk that you're not actually achieving it, right? You could be getting runoff out of like one hole over here, but your pot's only wet on this side, that sort of thing. So that's why a lot of people say to run off more. I'm just really conscious of like the environmental impact of like wasting water or wasting nutrients. I don't think that's very frugal. And then like, you know, what do you do with all that stuff at the end?
That's two really great points, because I was going to ask, well, for one, we went through the same thing with one of with DP's plants. He couldn't quite get to it right in his tent to water it correctly. So he was constantly like watering in the same spot or the same like third of the pot.
Yep.
And the back third of it never actually ran off really well and just kept building up that back third of the pot. And we couldn't figure out like what in the fuck was going wrong. I kept telling him, I said, flush your plant. He goes, I did. I said, no, you didn't.
Yeah, you'll run into a lot of problems. You'll have nutrient salts in the one part of the pot
with
that
the
aren't
fabric pots as well. Being, you know, I wasn't really used to being a new grower and everything. You know, the term runoff and stuff and all that. So, you know, I'm watching water come out and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, it's runoff. You know, so it takes a while, and you're like, okay, well, you know, it's completely different with the fabric pot compared to, you know, these 5-gallon buckets I got. You know, so it's just that getting used to and learning.
The fabric ones take a lot more effort, man. You got to water them slower. So
yes, honestly,
water will pour out the outside. You gotta.
They dry out quick.
Yeah, they have their advantages. Yeah. Definitely. We use them a lot in sip style growing, and they work amazing for that.
You know, I've gone to using the fabric pot, but then wrapping the outside of it with plastic, kind of doing the grassroots thing, because organic wise, I have definitely found out that the amount of water retention that you get by wrapping those with plastic far outweighs, you know, having the fabric pot. But I love the bottom of the fabric pot for just how much moisture I can wick and evenly into my soil. You know,
I would agree with both of those points. Yeah. Like my 3 gallons that I run in flour and plastic for sure. In veg, a lot of times I'll use the more fabric pots. Easy Swap Pots is one of our sponsors. I use their pots in veg, and they're really nice for transplanting out of and stuff. You just got to stay on schedule, or you know, roots will grow into them and stuff, and then it makes it a little bit harder to transplant. What are you trying to show off, Rick?
Well, I've been using fabric pots, and I've been finding that my biggest challenge is they just dry out too quickly. And yeah, I've been only watering once a day, and this is one of my motivations to go to automation. And what I would try to do is I would very rarely see moisture coming out the side of the fabric pot. And so I go through my garden once, like I'm still trying to make it just a 1-a-day feeding. So I go through my garden, and then I'd wait, and then I go back and start over and go through again, and then do that about 3 times. But still they were dry. So anyway, I decided to get rid of those, and I'm going with these air pots. These are plastic, and they have holes everywhere, as you can see. And yeah, so I'm going to, this is my, well, let's see, I'm gonna give it a shot. And just back on the,
I've never seen that style of air pot before, Uncle Rick.
Yeah, it took me a while. Actually, I found the other one, the ones with all the little bubbles and so on. I think they're available at Amazon.
Yeah, that's the really popular one.
Yeah, but like they're $20 a piece.
Yeah.
I ended up, God damn, I don't know where they're manufactured, but I bought these for
China.
well, I guess originally or somewhere, bought these for $7. So I was playing, and I mean the fabric pots, I've just resorted to, fuck it, it's a part of doing business, and I just throw them away. And that's not very good for the environment.
You should try butt chugging them, Rick, with your fabric pots.
But anyway, so that was my challenge. So in order to try to rectify it, I'm going to these pots and going to the automated watering system. The thing I wanted to add about the frequency of watering is it will, when the soil dries out, it kills microbes if you're using them. And I use them. And so if I'm watering more frequently, I'll keep the microbes alive better.
True that. Yep, that is all true.
Now,
I really like the design of that pot.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's bigger than this is a 5-gallon. I'm only going 3. So I'll just throw it to here. But anyway, I've also, I think I showed this on the show before, but this is, the challenge, of course, is having your, forgive me, I'm a stone, okay? Anyway, I guess I shouldn't be, getting high on this kind of show. Serious.
Dude, I run into the same problem. I'll start talking and I'll be like, why did I do the last 3 dabs?
Well, I'm trying to
think, it is a wake and bake show.
Have we even done a dab frog or a booth kazoo yet?
I did a dab by myself while someone was talking earlier.
Oh, sure.
Selfish.
Yeah, you should have just came in and been like, yo, it's fucking dab time, man.
It's always dab time, but like
I threw the frog.
You got the bell, buddy, or White Widow has the bell.
She's asleep. I'm not waking her up. That's insanity. The only crazier than that is waking up Black Widow. That's even crazier. All right. Usually I'll wake her up to send her into.
One of them's gonna walk out there because they can hear you talking and they're smack you in the side of your silly head.
That's right.
Hey, it doesn't. Either way, it's not gonna work out. Okay, I'll just give you that. So anyway,
what is that white thing that you're showing us? What is that?
That's what I was trying. I was getting to.
His new hat.
Is one of the challenges. One of the challenges of keeping your media wet all the time is it'll attract fungus gnats, and so you know that's part of the game, and you just have to. It's fungus gnats aren't a terrible thing, but it's a nuisance more than anything else. Anyway, this is the emitters that I'm going to run two 1/4-inch tubes down into each one of these holes. This will sit above the right on the media, and these spin the water around inside here to give it an even flow. Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
That is really cool.
So it's an emitter and it's like a collar for a pure hydroponic grow.
Like to keep the air off, yeah.
A DWC.
Okay. So I was hoping that by discovering this the cocoa, that it's obviously going to keep it more moist, but maybe, just maybe, the fungus gnats are too stupid to figure out a way to get out. Okay, that's what I'm counting on.
Yeah. Well, or you can use it for your squirrel.
There's a lot of people that use those caps, Rick. There's some commercial growers I've seen using them at scale even, so they must work. I haven't personally used them.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned, of course. I'm considering changing my nutrients to a powdered something more soluble. Yeah, and if I'm running recharge or any other microbe,
I would not run recharge.
Sorry.
Oh, I was saying I would not run recharge, but I would just amend it to I would not run recharge in your reservoir. If you're going to automate, you have to hand water that stuff in.
I'm going to hand water all that. Yeah, I've got a separate reservoir for that. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to the challenge.
So Rick, I got to ask. You've been doing successful for a while now, correctly, harvesting and whatnot. I'm just curious, why is it you're constantly throwing new things at your grow? It's like the whole if it ain't broke, don't fix it thing. You just really just like to slam new shit in there constantly, man. I
There's
mean,
always
granted,
a
I'm
thing to
seeing new
fix.
things because of you, but I'm just curious why you seem to have an addiction. You have to get, you just get to keep adding. So I'm just curious why. Is it just an addiction? Is that what it is?
Man, I like to call it. At first, it starts off a passion.
It's a hobby,
then
right?
it becomes an obsession, and then it becomes an addiction. And
But once you get that dial in,
who I am.
there's no reason to toy with it anymore. Once you're dialed in.
Chad is
Like-
bringing up some good
I'm
points.
not
though,
dialed
Uncle
in.
Rick.
I keep shooting for more and more. I'm very happy
Exactly.
with my yield, but
Want it better.
it's just my passion, and I know I can do much better, and I'm going
Okay.
to.
I was just curious.
And,
I have the same.
yeah,
thing.
no, it's
Like growing is as much a hobby as anything. So it's just like if you liked cars, you always find another thing to do to your car. So I can always find another way to mess with my grow and make it better, or maybe worse. But much like Uncle Rick, I don't
Sequence,
think
I could totally see you at Rick's age being
Oh, yeah.
Rick 2.0.
Oh, I'll
I
still
totally
be
see
fucking
that.
shit up. I'll be like, oh, I learned and unlearned this 20 times by now. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done the same
and
thing.
then-
I just don't add anything new. Like once I've got to everything I need to produce and I'm happy with it, then I'm trying not to spend more money on new shit and have to learn about how that works and add another thing in and this and that. Once I nail it and I'm happy with it, then
You run with it.
I run with it, you know.
I'm the opposite. I want to keep doing better. Even if people say, "Oh yeah, that's shit," I want it to be even better.
Me too, because I feel like people get into ruts and they go, why would you try to use silica? I've been using eggshells for my whole life and that works just fine, or whatever the hell. Or like in business, I used to do a system and they called the people that were against change, they called them cave dwellers because they sat in the caves while everybody else was out discovering fire.
Right.
Like, you can still make your life better even if you feel like you've gotten it all figured out, because we don't, imagine the world in 20 years. We're not going to be doing any of this shit anymore.
What?
I will be. I'll be
I
doing
will
the
be.
exact same organic bullshit because that's just what I like to do.
I'm
There
happy where
will
I'm
be
at, man.
another cooler way, man.
You mean I'm not
I don't
gonna be
care
able to
about
talk
that.
to you
There'll be
guys?
another cooler way to ferment your organic stuff. There will be another cooler way to light your plants. There will be another cooler way to do all of it.
I mean,
I'm
like I
trying-
said, I
I'm
don't
trying
mind
to take
learning
it
new
back
shit.
100 years,
I'm
not go
not.
forward 100 years.
If you go back 100 years, we barely had cars. Now we have electric self-driving cars.
I am okay with that.
And you know
Better than
something,
another 200
that's what makes our community so exciting is we all have our own, we're talking over each other here, sorry. Go ahead.
I wasn't saying anything.
Are you watching us on YouTube and listening to us on YouTube and not listening to us in the actual Zoom? You a few seconds behind us?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Maybe, I got these fucking,
I think he's
fucking
fine.
earphones. They must have gone dead on me. Okay, where am I? Are we on the same page now?
Yeah, we're good, man.
I'm gonna have to come watch
Now
this
you're
later on,
fucking
man.
with
My
me.
fucking internet is not working for shit today, man. It keeps connecting and disconnecting. So I'll let y'all go, man.
Good, then.
Fucking
Good seeing
bullshit.
you, Squishy.
Yeah, you all too, man.
Okay, so here's the deal. I
Yeah.
can't
Later,
hear you.
Squishy.
If you get it back, just try to pop back on.
Rick, I think you were fine.
Hang on.
Yeah, you were fine, Rick. I think you were hearing an echo or something. That's why we were kind of looking at you like, I don't think anybody was talking at that moment.
I think Prophet
Okay.
was just having
Yeah,
fun.
no one was talking over you, Rick, when you stopped is the thing. I think it was wind or something in the
Oh, I was
background.
so looking forward to this show.
Let's go. Ask me a
well,
question.
Okay, well, listen, DP, can you please stick your thumb up your ass if you can hear me?
It's already up there.
We can hear you.
It's been up there all day.
Come on, Boomer.
Hey, man, I wake up with that thing in my ass every
They're all fucking
morning.
with me, okay? I'm telling you, they're all fucking with me.
So we were fucking with you
Anyway,
like we were
Are you
fucking
talking
with
to
you 45
Prophet Bob?
seconds ago, but now we're done.
Oh, God. Even if so I thought,
You
I'll
run
keep
out of
this.
fluids
I've got
last night, buddy?
A really good series of questions for sequence, but if I can't hear you, wait a minute. What if I turn my sound on to my?
What does Rick need? Does he need aspirin or coffee
Maybe
or
I
what?
can watch. I'll watch.
Take your computer and flip it upside down. The whole computer.
He's
Rick, are
only
you
giving
okay?
his flux capacitor 78 gallons a minute.
Yeah, that's why you need 88 gallons an hour, dude, to run through it.
Rick, blink twice.
22.5 gigawatts.
1.21. Damn it.
Just a touch.
I do mine a little harder than you did. All right.
Yeah.
Gotta blow on the keyboard. Blow on the keyboard. You gotta get the dust out of it.
Oh shit! Painted Lady is about to fight for Rick's
now I
honor.
fucked my iPad.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She would too. She would throw down.
who's she beating up? It's
Good
probably
morning.
I don't want-
me.
hey, I'll
I
tell
hope
you,
it's me.
I just hope you're
No,
having
no,
a
man.
great
I just-
day.
I like pain.
Hey,
I
Rick,
like-
can you hear us?
She might want to fight me because I called him a boomer. Is that the thing?
Hey, Rick. Uncle Rick.
Gonna have to go get your dab rib back.
Oh, great. He went deaf.
Oh, so we can talk about it. What we're saying.
Hey, Uncle Rick, put DP's thumb in your ass.
It's already up there.
I think he heard that.
It's already up there.
Show us on the map how that would work out.
First or second knuckle, Rick.
Oh, he's going wrist
Elbow
boy.
deep. Elbow deep.
deep.
He wanted to make this all about the shit show, didn't he?
Okay.
I think we
I honestly don't even know what we're talking about right now.
First.
I'm just
Johnny
spitting
wants to hear
words
about your
out.
parallels, Rick.
Okay, this is not good. Okay, what you're doing, you're fucking with my head. It's not good. Okay.
Rick, can you hear us?
Oh my
Hello,
god.
hello,
If I've got
hello.
it right, then I should be able to ask the question
Can you
over
hear us?
here and get the answer sometime over here.
Can anybody hear Rick?
Ask the question.
I can
Okay,
hear
well,
you,
I
Rick.
have
Can you hear
Question
me?
over here.
I don't
That
know
is
if
not good.
Rick,
I,
can anybody hear
that
Rick?
is way too much for me to
What is over
comprehend.
here and over there, Rick?
Okay, so
I see
Steve,
Rick's mouth moving.
Please. Okay, you are the
Put your
the
cheaters on,
co-founder
old
with
man.
Bilbo of the show, and I look at you. I know Abolish is your producer, and but I thought your role was more techie stuff.
Oh, are you asking what I do?
So I've got a couple of questions for. Hey,
I don't
put
do
your
anything.
hand down, DP. That's enough. Okay, so I got a lot of questions, but what I would like to ask is, let's see, maybe some tips on drawing audience to your show. That would be interesting to talk about, and also monetizing to some degree. Thank you, by the way, to our Patreon fans. It takes a little bit, not a lot of money to put this show together, but as we get more money, we'll do more stuff. And quite frankly, I'm quite excited about it. So I don't want to be ashamed to get the audience to donate some money to us.
Sure.
Anyway, those are the two questions for you, Sequence, and I'll just sit over here and chat. And
Can you hear me, Rick? Can you hear me good? Nod or
that's a
something?
long.
See, he can't hear me at all. I don't know why he's asking me questions.
Sequence's job is the voice of fucking God, Rick. That's his job, all right?
Rick, can you even hear me?
Dude, my mom
This is
has
like having
obviously
Red on
fucked
my
him
show.
stupid. Hey, we got Indica coming in.
I'll answer his questions, but I would like him to hear the answer. But I don't do anything cool behind the show. No, I do a lot of the tech stuff. And I'm happy to answer all that stuff after Rick can hear us. I figured his first question would be about volume and microphones. And
What's up, Indica?
Morning, guys. Morning. How we all doing, man? How
Great.
we doing, Sequence? Good to see you, brother.
I'm fantastic, dude.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I overslept, guys. So fucking, it was like 9 something. I'm like, holy, even my 2 dogs were still sleeping, man, which is fucking unnormal. We were all passed out, so.
It happens,
that's
man.
a good way to spend a Sunday morning.
Okay. Here,
Rick, can you hear us?
here's what's happening is I can hear you on chat. I can't hear you on my Zoom.
Oh boy.
He's got to turn the other volume down and the other one up.
Turn your YouTube sound off and put your earbuds back in. Oh, he can't hear that for 15 seconds. Fuck, this is going to be horrible.
We're going to have to use some of the fucking Patreon money to buy him like a plug-in fucking headset that he can't fuck up as long as he doesn't unplug.
You guys owe me some Excedrin after this shit.
Hey, come on. We deal with this all the time.
Where's that dap frog at?
I'll send you some one-to-one. How's that?
We got Indica here. You want to do your introduction, Indica, since we got you?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on the Sunday morning. We got Sequence chilling with us. I just tuned in. Shout out to chat, everybody in chat. Cheers, everybody. Hope everybody's having a kick-ass Sunday. And yeah, go over and hit that like button, please, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And hope everybody enjoys the Sunday wake and bake.
Absolutely. Nice to see you, Indica. Me and him talk just about every day. He sends me messages. I'm usually too busy to send very thoughtful ones back, and I apologize. But an Indica's got a big heart, and it's in the right place. It's in my DMs, so it's really good. Rick, I'm going to answer your question, even though you can't hear me. This is a lot like talking to my grandpa or something. So you asked what I do behind the show. Mostly, I do the like the team part of the show, like keeping one person from arguing with another person, keeping everything moderated, keeping everything together, making sure that everybody still likes each other after doing this for a few years, you know, because everyone's got personalities and stuff like that. As far as monetization of the show goes, that's just because people liked us. I think the easiest first way to do it is to you could get merch. You guys could make stickers or shirts or something like that and sell them on Etsy. Like I made these shirts. They're in my house. No one buys them, but they exist. So if someone wants to monetize me and buy one, they're here. And that's the kind of stuff that's the kind of stuff that you guys have to do. And you'll get
Throw
there.
It out. We'll buy that shit.
How much for a shirt?
I need to get a website or something on them, but you can DM me and we can do shirt stuff. But that's really the way. So like if you want to have shirts for merch, get them made because it's better than any of the drop shipping places. Like other podcasts and stuff will use like whatever. Even we have a Teespring, which I think is better, but we had like a Streamlabs and that was a little bit less quality. So if you want to control the quality, get them made yourself and then, you know, ship them out. It's what all the big YouTube channels do and stuff. They hire people to do it. But
just go to like a local screen printer or something.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And say you want 10 smalls, 10 medium, you know, whatever, and get 50 shirts made and then do it that way. So I had like $800 in shirts made. I had a shitload of shirts made. And then we're out of all of the American sizes now. So like XL, double XL, triple XL, we're out of those sizes, but you know, all the smaller sizes we still have. So but then like Patreon and that type of stuff, you just got to bring value to people, right? So if you choose to start a Patreon, like we have one, we don't put anything on there, so we make it clear to people. Well, we make it clear to people though what that is. So basically, it's their way to like a tip jar, right, for the show. So if you want to help the show out, and I've got huge amounts of lights in front of me and a nice camera and all that stuff that comes from that. And then we have GoPros. So when we do events, all of that stuff was paid for from the show and not out of our pockets, which was cool. You know, so we have 2 GoPros. We have a producer, like Abolish makes money occasionally for helping do the show stuff. And then all of that, not to go too long on that.
Okay, thank you very much, Sequence. Yeah, I think I've solved my technical problems, and unfortunately, what I was doing was listening to your answer on YouTube, but it was really fucking me up. But
yeah, I bet.
Listen, what I can do is I can watch the show on YouTube later. So thank you very much. I appreciate the answers.
Just mute your sound on your YouTube and leave your chat open. That's what I'm doing right now.
That's what I'm doing.
So you can look at your chat and everything.
Yeah, and that's normally what I do. But something, it was the earbuds. They fucked the whole thing up. When I was trying to figure it out and then putting them on the table, and when I put them back in their case, everything came back to normal. So
told you we need to get him just a wired headset.
Breathe a sense of relief. Rick is going to be okay. Uncle Rick is going to be fine.
What? That's good. Because we were worried for a few minutes.
Hey, yay, we love you.
We were about to send home health care over to you to make sure everything was all right.
Yeah, to tell Carver to check on Rick. Carver, check on Rick.
MD.
Somebody's asked for you, Rick. I mean, she was ready to fight in their chat there, you know.
Why?
I was, thinking this
we were
was
picking on him.
conspiracy to shut me up. I was feeling kind of bad.
Hey, man, I got the controls. I wasn't shutting anybody up. Like,
Right,
I
so
found it funny where Sequence said that
he knows when a moron needs smacked. That's why she was doing it.
But I find it funny. Sequence says he's there, like regulating fighting or anything like that. I'm like, regulating fighting, like stopping it. Wait, what do you mean? We fight amongst each other all day long. That's really how we thrive.
We have like a big chat, so we have more than one large, like 30-person chat on Instagram. So for various, Abolished has one for the Frugal Force. So everybody that believes in the butt chugging stuff is in one chat. And he kind of moderates that one. That's his own thing. But like the show, the bro show, we have our own chat, and I have to moderate what people can say in there because people can offend each other, right? And kind of like the easy moderation is like, don't say dumb shit that you wouldn't say to like your grandma at Thanksgiving, right? So if you wouldn't,
all sounds very familiar.
You know, don't bring up the dumb shit that you know you're going to argue about with people that you really love. And we all love each other. We like to, I think we do, you know, we like to say we do. So like, you know, when you're intentionally going to say something to piss off your friends, so just don't do it. And I haven't had to kick people out for that. Like, there's been a few people that have like left the chats because they definitely feel like they don't fit the vibe or they don't, you know, whatever. And that's fine, but we don't have to kick them out. They just go that, you know, this isn't for me or whatever. And we all get along super well. Everything that you see on camera is who we are in person. When they come over to the house, we shake hands and smoke 20 joints. And that's how it goes.
Yep. It's I mean, that's just like our group here. You know, we have our thing and it's constant, you know.
Yeah, just don't let anybody talk politics or anything that's in the news, and then you're basically good.
And we even allow that. We just keep a real close head on it, and everybody's been real good about. You know, we're all pretty like-minded people, so you know, when the topics come up, it's a discussion. It's not a fight. You know, and you know, sometimes it gets a little passionate, but everybody backs down, and everybody gets themselves right back to where they need to be. So,
right.
You know, it's, for a bunch of stoners, it's a pretty adult fucking group. You never know it.
We're at that stage now, but like for over a year, I definitely kept a tight rein on it, right? Just to make sure that we would all make sure that everybody that was in the group wasn't going to be the person that was going to get really pissed and you know, leave or come at me in my DMs or whatever. But now we generally do.
We actually have a safety word in our group. A.
What is it? Is it pineapple?
It's A. I mean, it's just us going off. If we start going off rails, we just write down, all right, A, and everybody just kind of A, and we reset. It's as simple as that, you know.
You got to have a method, but it's all about maintaining friendships. That's my main role. Beyond all the technical stuff, I do all of that, like you said, Rick. I do a lot of the camera stuff and a lot of. When we started the show, I never wanted to be in front of a camera like this. This isn't for me. Like, I have bad anxiety and I don't enjoy it. And I never wanted to do that.
Right there.
Everything else I enjoy a lot. But yeah, I'm here. I enjoy this now, but I used to like sweat before every show and get nervous and stuff. And now, thankfully, after doing like 200 or 300 shows, I'm finally getting over it.
Well, Sequence, we really enjoy you. We were talking.
I'm having fun.
We were talking with Spartan the other night, and he said like you have multiple screens set up. When I look at you, or when you look at us, we don't always necessarily. You got three of them, and you don't necessarily. I don't believe that you're looking directly at the camera like I do when I'm or no, I'm talking to you, so I'm looking down this way.
Yeah.
But I see you, Gilbo, a number of other people, and I almost think that, okay, do you have a separate camera, or do you?
Well, I don't have multiple cameras. My camera is actually right here in front of me, and all of your pictures are in front of me. But then the chat's to this side, and then I have other stuff to this side. And I learned from like, so part of it is I don't ever look at the camera just because of anxiety and dumb shit like that, right? But I learned from watching a lot of streamers, like video game streamers, YouTube streamers and stuff. People don't like being stared at anyway. So like, as long as you're not like shifty and shit, you know, it works out. A lot of guys that like do streaming and stuff, the camera will be from the side the whole time instead of being directly at your face. So you can make it work out. But like when I'm talking to you right now, I'm reading the chat and all of that stuff because I have ADD. So I'm just kind of.
Hey, no, Shifty worked out really good for us once. So I'm a big fan.
That Shifty show is fucking funny. Hopefully I don't come off like that, but I feel that way in my head. I'm always like, don't look at the camera, do whatever, all of that stuff. That's
don't stare at people. Don't do weird shit. Don't fucking act like a spaz while you're on fucking camera. Yeah, I got you. Especially like the ADD thing. Like, right, I was diagnosed as a young age. Fucking got real bad ADHD, and I definitely feel like I'm a twitchy motherfucker sometimes.
You all pull it off really well. I think the twitchiest one is definitely Prophet, and everyone knows.
I do. I move around. I can't help it, but I actually stare at the camera. Like I was brought up a different. Like I look at people directly in the eyes.
I was brought up the same way. I've been hit a lot.
I can't help it.
Correct that out of yourself. Like
yeah, I can't. I just my bad.
I myself, I can't sit still because if I sit down to sit still, I'm napping.
Yeah, we know, Johnny.
I've never seen you, Johnny, in one setting in a show. You're always like doing dishes and walking through your house and shit. And
that's because if he's not, he's fucking taking a nap.
Yeah.
This dude naps like 3-4 times a day.
He has to take a nap to get ready for the nap he's going to take later on, basically.
I've got too much to do for that.
Yeah. I don't know how he pulls it off either.
It's all the gummies.
That's what I really liked about the CBD hash cross. It really still gave me that nice, I can still do dishes act.
I can
you were just nice and good and calm and stuff.
You still get that feeling.
Yeah, I still maintain.
Yeah, it's cool. Incredible. I've taken.
Hey Rick. We love you. We love you with all our hearts.
I just wanted to say.
As Obi, you're a true Southern Belle, you know that.
I love you all, and yeah, we were talking earlier about chat, and I love our friends in chat. I'm working on it. I got another screen. All I got to do is figure out how to plug one into the other. I got to be almost there. But I did have two screens at one time. And then what you do, Steve, which you can confirm this, you simply take your mouse and drag it over to the other screen and click on it, and then I can use my keyboard. And oh my God, it's just gonna.
You're cracking me up.
Yeah, dude, I'm just working off a laptop. It's pretty easy. I can't get the chat. I play that I use on my phone, but other than that, that's it, man.
Rick, what I would say is that if you're having trouble with earbuds, you should probably stick with where you're at until you can solve it, and then we'll move on to the two screens, and then we'll solve that. And then after like a decade or two, we might get you a third screen.
He's got a point, man. You got to upgrade to the Bluetooth to be able to gain to another screen.
I have the same problem. This is how I talk to Red. Red's in the chat right now. He knows. I just talk him through like hosting a show.
I'm asking a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to talk over anybody. Hey, just my favorite saying, KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not calling anybody stupid.
No,
don't get me
true,
wrong.
though,
I didn't call anybody stupid, but keep it simple.
Like, don't add too much too fast. You will get in over your head.
But
imagine if you walked into a recording studio, right, and you had like all of these boards and stuff, you wouldn't know what button to push to turn it on.
Exactly. Too much detail.
No, you don't find the power button first. You fuck with every other button to get it way the hell out of whack before you push the power button. That way it's super
the big button that says power.
You push the coolest looking button. That's usually the main one. And once you go from there, you can Start
The
toying
one
with
that
it.
says "Don't press"
Don't press.
Is the one I'm pressing.
Oh, I wonder what this will
I'm a curious dude.
do. You're a curious cat.
I am. Luckily, I got 9 lives.
Well, I went from using one screen at, like at home, to where I work, I got 3 screens. One in the middle, one on each side, and they all it's like a big wraparound type thing. It took me a week to get used to using that stuff. But now once you get used to it, I would not live without it now at work. I still don't have it here, for my personal computer. But man, I'll tell you what, I love having multiple monitors.
Well, they did a study on it, Drizzy. Workplace, if you have 2, your second screen is like 80% more productive, 83%, I think they said. It's not 100% because it's obviously not doubly fast by adding another screen. But like being able to have your emails up while you're working on your work is really nice. Or, all of the various things, having just for this, being able to have
We always want bigger, more. Give me more. We're on a little pod and a phone, and we can't see anybody's comments, but we're involved.
Yeah. So I had a buddy. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to say I had a buddy watching our show the other night on his phone. He's got an iPhone, if that makes any difference. And he didn't know how to get into chat. He wanted, and I tried to explain it by texting to him and so on. To try live chat, try top chat. He touched the screen. He couldn't figure out how to get into chat. But then
we need like a boomer help group. You know what I mean?
I don't even want to admit this, but it wasn't until White Widow showed me how to actually get into live chat the other day. So I've been in top chat ever since the beginning, thinking I've been in live chat.
Explain to you almost every show how to do that, bro.
But I really don't listen to you. Like, that's the problem, man.
I bet.
See, this is the same guy. He's always asking us about our grow. He's always saying, he doesn't fucking listen to a thing we say. Not teaching him anything. It's in one and out the other.
Well, not the growing shit and some of the personal shit, but the computer and technical shit. Yeah, it does go like, it's like to the wayside. Exactly.
Hey, stop it, eh?
So a Canadian Snoop. So would a Canadians, what was that? Charlie Brown? Would the parents actually be like, want a, want a? What did that? How that work? I'm just curious.
Let me tell you a quick Canadian story. So, buddy, I used to be a sales rep. Wore a suit most of my life. But anyway, another story. Anyway, this buddy, I was responsible for British Columbia, and next door is Alberta, and he was responsible for Alberta. And the 2 big cities in Alberta are Edmonton and Calgary. And I'm highly stoned turning this into far too big a story. Anyways, we went many years back, we went to the metric system. And of course, we changed the shapes and distances. We went from miles to kilometers. For anybody that cares, 6 kilometers is about 10 miles. So 100 miles, and if you're traveling 100 miles an hour, you're Canadian. You're
600
doing
kilometers an hour.
Or 100 kilometers. Thank you. Or then you're doing 60. So, anyways.
Hey, Rick, hold on. I think Opie has to bounce out. You got to leave, Opie?
No.
Damn it. Pay
I want to
attention,
pull a
Robert.
Rick and be like, I thought this was supposed to be about me.
Oh, shit, my bad.
And standard.
All right, my bad.
Sequence, you
Now
never.
you're muted or some shit. No, go ahead.
I was thinking about that the other day when I was on your show, and thank you for having me. But God, I had a great
so
time.
funny, dude.
But I'll tell you what it was. You have a way of making people feel comfortable, and that was so cool.
I do. Yeah, good.
Please let me finish I'm almost there. So anyways.
That's what he said.
Anyway, I'm talking between Edmonton and Calgary. It could be between Sacramento and Los Angeles. Anyways, so we were at a sales meeting and somebody said, "Hey, Wayne, how long does it take to get from Sacramento to south to Los Angeles?" And he said, "Well, before metric, it used to take me 3 beers. Now it takes me 5."
Oh, I like that joke.
Yeah, well, I can see everybody falling off their chairs in laughter here.
I actually really like that one.
Hey, buddy, I just was curious how things are going in the hoop house.
Yeah, man. They're going good, except for this fucking weekend. Wanted to get everything out there, and it was 37 degrees last night here. Nothing but rain, wind. So looks like I'm gonna be doing everything last minute Monday. It's supposed to go back up into the 70s. So I wanted to be out this weekend, and get it finished up. So that didn't happen yet. So everything will got to get the top on tomorrow. With the wind, there's no way in hell that's happening, yesterday or today, and get the transplant done tomorrow too. So
yeah.
Wasn't expecting this, but I think I have it. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in the Farmer's Almanac. I study this shit, man, and I know there's just here, at least where I am, the temperatures there was a lot of fluctuation this year, and so it's just kind of been last minute. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people in my area have already gone out, but I've been watching the weather, and I go by that, and so everything will be last minute. I hate doing shit fucking last minute because we got the rooms running. We're gonna be pulling one room fucking 2 weeks. I mean, we just got so much work going on right now, but it is what it is, so make it happen.
If you run into any hurdles, Indica, let me know. I can maybe offer some advice or anything with the greenhouse.
Absolutely, man. I will. Thank you very much. So.
I definitely ran into him myself, so maybe we can.
Yeah, no, I absolutely will, man. I still got to get fucking water in there. I got all the piping laid out. It's ready to rock, but it's just, it sucks. So Mrs. B, she took a few days off of work too, so she can help me because it's gonna be a lot of work. You know what I mean? But yesterday we got up early. We were gonna go out there, and even in rain jackets, man, we would have been dead last night. The cold. It was so fucking cold and windy, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, it sucks when the weather won't cooperate.
Yeah, man, it sucks, dude. And I was hoping because all last week I started breaking them, hardening off the plants and shit, and it was fucking 80 all week. And then, like I said, this front came in. I don't know from where, but it just, it fucked everything up. So,
like when I put the plastic on my greenhouse, it seemed like it decided to have a hurricane force winds when we had this huge piece of plastic unrolled. It was like perfect weather, and it was really only like 5 miles an hour of wind, but it's crazy.
I was just going to say the same thing. It always feels so much worse.
Yeah. Well, that thing was like the biggest kite you've ever. I felt like I was going to fly away.
Oh, that's a huge sail, man. Yeah, when you're trying to, when you're going up at that type of height too and that big, that's a fucking sail, man. You're going to go,
Yeah, I've seen it happen, man. I've seen guys with like siding panels, not like, siding for your house, but like industrial panels off of fucking buildings and stuff, and wind catch them and yank them motherfuckers right off a building. It's amazing. It ain't no joke.
Oh yeah.
Those things take a lot of wind.
I've seen plywood push people off off the roof as they're walking across them.
Yep. Yeah.
It doesn't take much, man.
Just going up.
I watched a dipshit walk off a roof once while he was yelling at people. It was hilarious.
That's awesome. I almost got yanked from a billboard. I mean, that's a 14 by 48 kite. When the wind catches up on there, so
yikes.
The scary part is it's like, okay, I let go of this board, and now I got a 1448 spread across the highway. I could be landing across. I don't know how many cars. It's freaking in the morning. It's fucking rush hour traffic going on. It's like you got to hold on to the thing the day of life. Or, you got to go for a ride, one or the other. So you do your best not to lose that thing, you know.
Yeah, actually, sequence is really cool. You were saying because I'm hoping to build my hoop house next year. I've kind of got the wife's okay, so I might have to be talking to you a bunch also, because as soon as I figure out how I want to design mine, I don't know if I'm going to do full on hoop house or if I'm going to try to do like permanent greenhouse style, you know, because I'd kind of like to see if I can make it warm enough to keep plants that aren't supposed to be outdoors, you know, without having to drag them in my house.
You can do it.
Yeah, I'll have to start talking with you soon so I get a good plan built up for hopefully next year.
You can make permanent hoop houses and kind of eliminate a lot of the cost of like a poly greenhouse, like a hard walled one, and still use you'd have to replace the plastic like every 5 years, but you can use a metal framed hoop house and be very, very good. You can heat it and everything. That's what we did.
Yeah, I've got access to, you know, conduit vendors and stuff, so I can get anything I need. You know, the hoops wise, I can make it as big as I want. You know, I'll just buy. Nice. Yeah, so you know the size and everything will be fine. It's just a matter of, you know, the small details. You know, whether I need to heat it or whether, you know, how much airflow and where to get it set up properly, and then you know, obviously your exhaust ports and everything to make sure you have optimum airflow.
I'm the guy. Can help.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll be fucking hitting you up for sure on that.
Indica, I noticed on a online pic that you have a wooden floor in your hoop house?
No, it's all dirt underneath there. So that's soil that's been farmed organically for 20, 25 years, family property. And I just put, excuse me, black landscaping fabric over just to kind of keep if any weeds or shit, you know, grows up. And then that way, when I go put my pots, I'll, you know, put the pot down, obviously kind of make a circle around it. And I like to dig down just to set the pot so the roots can end up going into that soil over the season. But no, it's all fully wood framed, pressure treated wood frame all the way around.
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful. Now I get it. I looked at that fabric and I thought it's a wooden deck, and I thought,
nah,
what is he doing, man? But oh wow, oh that's exciting, man. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not that crazy, Uncle Rick.
You know, Chad's actually talking really good about like the cold right now, because you know, we started dropping into the, you know, like 40s where I'm at, and I only have one outdoor going right now, but you know, like Red was saying, man, my plant's loving the fucking cold nights. I did have a small bout. I saw PM coming up in my garden, so I sprayed, you know, everything, but man, fucking my plants are loving it outside right now.
A couple of years ago, Red had plants with snow on them like 5 days in a row before he harvested, and they just they were fine.
Last year or the year before, I kicked one out just because it was in a 1 gallon pot. It was irritating me. I was just like, fuck this thing, and I threw it out in like October, and fucking came back like with snow on it. Is when I harvested it. I was like, dude, this plant looks fucking great. You know, as long as you don't get that hard freeze, that frost. You know, if it's just cold, it's cool, but man, it's that frost that it starts breaking the cell walls and shit, and that's when you're fucked.
Well, snow kind of insulates the plants if it sits on them too, which is kind of an interesting thing.
My plant's been out for 2 weeks, so during the nice weather that Indica was mentioning, I put it out there. So it's still thriving and surviving like a motherfucker. I even put a small clone out there 2 days ago, not realizing it was going to be that cold, and it's still doing okay. So
yeah, those are the ones you got to worry about, is like the little seedlings and the little clones. But
yeah, I brought the auto in. I wasn't risking that. I didn't think it could handle that, so I brought the auto in till it warms up. But yeah, everything else has been fine.
Here in Michigan, we tell everyone to plant in June. First week of June, get them out there.
Right after Labor Day is usually what they say here in, like, you know, the middle of Illinois and stuff.
Yeah, out here they I know, you know, all the farms still out here, a lot of the farms, because it costs so much fucking money, you know, to pull a license and etc. Everybody grows outdoors, you know, that have the big licenses, you know, on these $1 million fucking farms and shit, and everybody goes out here in this area around June 1st. So
Yeah, I got way too excited, and I didn't adjust my light cycles to the current light cycle outside. I didn't adjust for, temperatures at all. And I was just like, I'm going to put this bitch in the garden, which was great, except we were still only at like 13 hours of light for like that week. Or actually, I think like 2 weeks. So my shit flipped over to flower. Like I lost all, but now I'm going to have just a crazy monster out there that will probably stay short, but I'm going to have to fucking support the hell out of it. It's going to have stakes everywhere.
Yeah. So happy Memorial Weekend to my American friends. So this is a weekend to remember those who fought in the war and so on. And yeah, we don't do something like that. We have Remembrance Day, of course. That's the day that we set aside for remembering those who had fallen, and I think that's pretty cool. I just want to give you a quick story.
That's what Memorial Day is here, is for the passed away soldiers. We have Veterans Day for the still living ones.
Still living, yeah.
Okay, but do you celebrate, I don't know if celebrate's the right word, Remembrance Day, November the 11th?
I'll check on the day, but it sounds like this is that day for us. It would be Monday.
Okay, I'm not positive, but I shouldn't even say it. But I've said shit before that was not true. But I thought that it was possibly the day of the storming of Normandy, Dieppe, and France, and all that stuff. No, that was D-Day.
That's D-Day, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We also have Victory over Japan Day. We have a couple other odd war-related holidays that I'm never really followed.
So anyway, my peeve about Remembrance Day is when I was a kid, and it's funny, when I was thinking about the show, I was thinking about maybe telling a story or two, and I just remembered that how my dad used to say to me all the time, when I was a kid, when I was a boy, and that was like during the 1930s and the dirty 30s, and we all the terrible stories, and so I hadn't said that for a long time because I used to tune out whenever my dad said it. But I was thinking, when I was a kid, Remembrance Day, what it was then, I believe it's the 11th month and the 11th day and the 11th hour. So what used to happen in those days was at 11 a.m., you would stop whatever you were fucking doing. You would stop if I was in school, so we would all stop. If you were driving a vehicle, you'd fucking pull to the side of the road, you would stop. Whatever you were doing, you would stop. And you would take 2 minutes of silence and think about the fallen soldiers, men and women. Then one day it became Remembrance Day, and it became a day off, and it became a day of, hey, we can go shopping. There's sales on it. And lost the whole memory of that 2 minutes of silence. It was just a holiday. And in a way, I think we lost something in that. But there's my rave.
I think people have the same gripe with Memorial Day here.
I just checked, and November 11th is Veterans Day for us. So their Remembrance Day is the same day as our Veterans Day. So it's a holiday for us too.
Yeah. I mean, we still have many events, obviously, and we do remember at 11 o'clock there is that 2 minutes of silence. But at the same time, there are people down at Kroger's, taking advantage of a sale, and that's all.
Yeah, no, I agree. Everything's been commercialized for sure. It's like the old man rant of every yesteryear, I think. I love it. It's very Uncle Rick of you.
Okay, here's a little rant. Thinking about timing and so on. When I was a suit, the standard in the retail industry was you don't put any Christmas shit out until after Halloween. That was the rule, and everybody in retail pretty much followed that until Costco came along, and they just threw all the rules up. You can go to Costco just about any time of the fucking year and pick up a Santa Claus elves. But I think immediately when they came to Canada, when they started, they used to go June or July.
Uncle Rick, when people talk about the war on Christmas, do they mean Uncle Rick? Do you have a problem with people putting Christmas stuff in the store?
Oh yeah. Okay, another.
I'm just
story.
kidding.
Hey, wait a minute. I do though. I hate that shit. But even as a young person, I fucking hated just how fucking quick they start bringing that shit out. God damn it, you're gonna get me on that. I'm boomering like a motherfucker right now.
Well, it's quicker now too, man. It seems like it shows up even quicker. It's like right after Halloween. Damn, here's some Christmas shit. I'm like, ain't there a holiday before this? Like,
God
I know
damn
there
it,
is.
look what you just fucking started. Now we're all boomering.
I swear they skip over Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I'm like, I swear to God, there was another holiday before Christmas.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Hey, you know,
It's
none
the
of this
best
shit
holiday.
came up until we started seeing Baked in fucking chat. Baked brings the fucking boomer, doesn't he?
Yeah, I told you. Oh,
This
is
is
he in
fucked
chat?
up.
I was calling
Yeah,
upon
he
him.
just
Triggering you
showed up in
guys.
fucking chat.
I
and he
said, give
triggers
me the
fucking
boomer.
Buddy watched the show on Friday night, and his first thought was, "You guys are all a little twisted." And I thought, no, we're kind of normal. It's stoned, but kind of normal.
Yeah, kind of normal. I'm used to walking old guys through tech problems and talking about weed. That's my normal show.
Okay, while it's on my mind, Sequence, you fellas, and gals have been with us from the beginning, and I, for one, I'm sure I speak on behalf of the panel. We're really grateful for that. I was going to have a follow-up.
You guys are really entertaining. We don't do it for no reason. I think Painted Lady was the one that told me about your show, and I started watching, and I enjoy all of your guys' personalities individually, and I think that you're really good on camera. And then at the same time, I can empathize with what you're doing, right? Because I did the show thing, and we started with 10 viewers, and we were the 10 viewers, right? And I remember when we had more panelists watching than we had viewers, and when everyone in chat had a wrench and all of that sort of stuff, right? So to watch you guys grow, to be able to help, I think is a really cool thing. And it's not just out of like generosity, right? It's not like a hand-me-down type of thing. Like, you guys generally are interesting and fun, and I enjoy watching your show. So I try to catch it as many times as I can and tell people about it and be on here. It's a good time.
Cool. That's great. Listen, I do have a technical. I don't know if it's technical. Oh fuck! Tooth stone. Forgot what it. Come on, spit it out. Had to do with technical. Oh, it just came back to me. We talked about this before. You open your chat early, and I think that's cool. I don't know what with my iPad. I have some geezer.
Me and Caribou are going to get together, and I'm going to show them how to do that, how to premiere the show. So then you can even do it like a week ahead of time, and you'll have a chat. I just do it like an hour ahead of time. But yeah, I'm going to show Caribou how to do that. We just haven't gotten together yet.
Am I the only one who gets like really annoyed when someone does like a multiple day fucking whatever that?
Yeah, I don't
thing?
care to do
That
it.
is so stupid. Dude, and you know what else? I was so excited, man. I was going to pack my vape and then realized I already packed my vape and forgot to hit it. So it was already ready. Woohoo!
Nice. You probably didn't need the last hit, but you're probably good for this one.
I'll tell you what, Fluff, that's like 4 goddamn senior moments you've had this show already, man. That's like bad for you, dude.
You're sitting too close to me, man. It's wearing off.
Is it how much longer until you're considered a boomer, Fluff?
How much longer?
It's not an
I
age.
think I just,
It's not something you
I think I
become.
just proved it. I'm already fucking there.
That's a
I just
generation
started
thing.
bitching
though.
about the
That's like
fucking
a-
Christmas thing.
Fluff
That's
has
only
like a
because
shelf life,
it costs you
so,
money
like,
on
at a
Christmas.
certain age, it starts to.
Everybody that's like older than 40 is a boomer, and you age right into
That's
it.
me.
What are you talking about? That's not the generation of boomers.
No, but that's like who you would say as like a meme, right?
Oh.
You don't ask them for their ID. You just call everyone that's older than you a boomer.
You guys decided to change the definition again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. You're just making words up
Change
and put
it
them
and
where you
make it
want.
bigger so you can. We got to include everyone.
You want to include
Right, I
everyone,
was always
except for yourself, right?
Except for me. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, obviously.
Right.
I was always the person who called everybody younger than me kid. So like you could be like a year
Exactly.
younger than me. I'd
Same
be like, "What's
thing.
up, kid? Fuck
It's
off."
just the opposite. So everyone younger than me, I call a millennial, and then everyone older than me, I call a boomer.
Okay, well, so this boomer's got a question. So the first picture that you showed us is your background there sequence. Was that your current grow?
Not my current grow, no, but it was one of my last indoor grows. So this grow, I'll do another picture like this. I'm a fan of stacked focus macro photography. It's like if you follow like Video Macro or Eric Nug Shots and some of these popular, you've seen them, like the macro pictures of buds. That's how they do those pictures. So that was one of my first attempts at that sort of picture. So with this grow, I'm going to do another one. I have all the equipment. I have cool macro rails and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully I'll do it better the next time. But it's a pretty cool picture.
Yeah, for sure.
I growed it. It tasted good.
So is your current grow the same size, more or less? Was that an 8?
It's bigger. It's more or less the same though. I'm running 2 Laura Flux 8 blades. They're amazing lights. They're 630 watt bar style lights. So they have 8 blades of LEDs, obviously by the name. And they're in a big room, but they're in 2 4x4 trays. So it's kind of about the same canopy size, but more light and better. So I'm excited.
Wow, 2 4x4s, my goodness. You don't grow them too big. You don't veg them too long.
Those plants are way too big for the room. So we'll see how it goes. They were vegging for a long time because I just bought a house. So I didn't get to, do a lot of growing in the meantime. I didn't know when I was going to move and all of that stuff. So my plants were just stuck in veg. So I built a room as fast as possible with my buddy Baked. And we built it in like a day and put all the lights and stuff in there.
Yeah. Right on. How close can you keep your, I'm just curious, when
6
you're
inches.
Sorry?
6 inches away.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's incredible.
6 inches away. Yeah, they're designed for racks. So like when you double tier the plants in a room, so the lights can be really, really close. And yeah, Lobster, that's Trop Cookies.
Yeah, that's a beauty. Yeah, I've seen that one before. That is beautiful. Yeah. Huh. 6 inches.
That's one of the plants that I'm actually flowering that plant again right now. So maybe I'll reenact this picture soon. That's one of the ones where you pass around a joint of it and everybody goes, "What's this?" And you go, "That's the Trop Cookies." That was a really fun one to have for the South Haven trip. There's some people from my South Haven trip on the chat here.
Oh, so I obviously Indica, you and Sequence will be hooked up in July. That's pretty exciting.
That's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have my flower won't be there because my grow won't be done, but I'll have extract there. Several other of the panel members will have their flower there that they grew. We'll smoke more than you probably ever smoked in your life if you hang out with us. That's kind of how we do it, and it's always a good time, man.
How many people are you expecting? Oh, this is your first one?
No, we were there last year, but we didn't vend, so I don't know about that side of it. But we sat and smoked. I expect more people this year. When we did our own event, we had like over 60 people there. But we'll see.
It was allegedly illegal then, or no? I mean, now this time it'll be legal, right?
No, it was legal last time too. We were actually, I mean, most of these events will have the police, chaperoning the cars in and out and stuff like that. So it's a big deal here now.
Cool. Yeah. Oh.
Painted Lady says she'll have her flower there at the event in Luzerne.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's a hell of a way to promote it. Tell me you're gonna come up, smoke Painted Lady shit up. If I had the ability, I would be there.
I'll have extracts and stuff there probably, but we'll have a cool booth and everything.
You gonna bring any of your glass blowing stuff that you might be able to get acquired by then?
Hopefully, yeah, that'd be cool.
Some marbles. You're gonna sell marbles.
Yeah, like egg-shaped marbles.
You can't play a game with it, but it sure looks fun.
Yeah.
Oh my, okay, sequence. I'm sorry. One more question,
yeah,
and then I'll try to keep it. Okay, here's another dilemma. Okay.
Ooh, a dilemma.
I just caught myself looking at me instead of you, so I'm talking to you. Okay, so like I said, the chat is fucking fantastic, but I'm not capable of focusing on Zoom and forget about it. It ain't gonna happen. However, I enjoy reading the chat after the show. Now, if we have a 4-hour episode like we did the other night, that's 4 hours. Another 4 hours here, like it's out of control. What I would like to do is what I'd like to do is just be able to scroll through the chat without having to watch the whole show again. And it seems like it'll only allow me to go so far in chat, and then it won't let me go any further. Is there any way that I could bypass and just like do a quick scroll through of chat?
I've never tried to do any of that shit. You can't do it. So if you go to the end, it will only let you scroll up so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been my first recommendation, but sounds like they've got a workaround for that. You can probably.
I'm sorry. Wait, I don't know if I did try that. I didn't go to. You say go to the end and then go back up.
Yeah, go to the end and start scrolling up through chat and see how far you can go. That would be my first thing to try.
Okay. Yeah.
But if it stops after a certain point, then the best you could do probably is figure out how many minutes or whatever the hell that is, and then just skip to that point. You could do it like that.
I guess so.
Or what you could do is turn the show on and then turn the speed up. So go to your settings and make it 2 times speed, and read the chat twice as fast.
Oh,
so you got that option as well.
Okay, I'll think about that.
Your commitment is very, very high.
Oh,
I have ADD, so what I do is I'm talking to you and reading the chat at the same time, so I don't have to do all that.
Yeah, I guess that would be cool. But no.
But then I lose my sentences midway. You know what I mean? I'll talk to you and read the chat and forget what I'm talking about. So
okay. Painted Lady, I want to be on Rick's level today.
Yeah, man, you're on one.
It takes age. I explained that to her. It's not just that. It takes age to get to here.
He's walking around on that tapestry behind him right now. That's what the world looks like.
I just realized I wasn't in live chat.
I work on this, okay? This just doesn't come natural, okay?
Hey, we still got people who are talking about, and I'm not going to say who, but he's over on this side on my fucking frame. That he's still in fucking top chat because apparently his ladies aren't there to tell him to go to fucking live chat to have your best chatting experience on this show.
Man, I just said I just realized I wasn't in fucking live chat.
If you guys want, it makes it super easy, man. Go up to the top. There's the little dots there, man. Pop out the chat, right? And you probably already hit live chat. Yeah, you probably already hit live chat, but you're going to have to go and repress live chat because when you pop out chat, it turns you back into top chat. So
this is a good red right here.
I've tried to do my best red impression.
Dude, that was really good. That's a good red right there.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this one out. I have It's something I've been thinking about, and I know that you at the Michigan Bros Grow Show. By the way, don't forget to give yourself a plug for
You nailed the tongue twister, dude. You nailed it.
Anyways, I noticed that you work to a specified time. So far, we have taken the attitude that, well, gee, if a conversation is really good, we'll keep going.
Sure.
And I can understand that, but I'm also like, sometimes I'll be honest with you, after a couple hours, I start to feel a little uncomfortable. Like, gee, how long should our guest expect to stay? Should I leave? Don't this? I don't know. It's kind of maybe
Sure,
I just
sure.
have to deal with it.
Well, so I had a conversation. Basically, in the YouTube world, it is in your best interest to have shows of the same length in the algorithm. However, there's like pluses and minuses to all of that. So that was where it originally started, is like a TV, like think of it like a TV show. Your viewers and your guests alike expect it to be a certain length, So that's like a plus thing. And then also people have real lives. So like when we do like late shows or when we do early shows, everyone's got things to do. So I like to tell people to consider that, people got to go to sleep so that they can get up and go to work. People got to, leave so that they can go to the store or whatever the hell they want to do, right? So I usually try to schedule it in a way that everyone can expect it to be a consistent thing. So then that all of the panel members and all of the guests and everyone, they know what they're signing up for every show. And I think that's good. But it doesn't really matter that much. Like if you just got to like talk to your guests and make it clear what you're doing, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. No, hey, I'll bet you for every show that's on a time schedule, there's that many that aren't, and there's some excellent shows.
Potentially, yeah.
I was just gonna say, I like the idea of your like definite set schedule, because
right.
like it probably helps keep focused. You know what I mean? Like you say, eventually, we might come up with a topic to be like, ooh, let's talk about that for a whole show. But having that timeline, we kind of streamline it to get all the information out. So I kind of dig, having that idea. It's pretty cool.
Hey, let me throw something else out. I just thought about it. Well, because I just heard Stoney's theme song for Dad Time on your show the other day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Fantastic. And I thought, well, okay, do you guys own that, or could we do the same one? And how would that work?
Stoney is ours.
Get a hold
all
of
right?
Stoney, man.
Stoney is ours.
Get a hold of Stoney and chat.
But I think, again, you have complimented our show so much we compliment each other if we considered something like that. But anyway, just a thought.
We just make Stoney work and have him make another one.
Yeah, just have Stoney make you a song. That's what I'm saying. Just send him a damn message, Rick.
We can send them down the line to everybody.
Yeah.
Have everybody rocking on Stone.
Fucking song, man.
It's a cool song, for sure. It was an honor to have someone
everybody's
make
just
one.
pimping out Stoney. He's not even here to fucking defend himself or be like, yo, bitches, I ain't got time for this shit.
I talked to him yesterday.
He can tell Rick to fuck off if he wants to.
How long was that show?
I can text him right now if you want.
The song is like 3 minutes.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, it just well, it was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It was an honor to have someone make a song for us. It really was. There's like benchmarks, right, for all of this stuff, right? And someone making a song is really cool. If somebody eventually gets a tattoo or something, like that's another one. And then I don't know what else, but like there's definitely benchmarks that people come across. Shows and bands and all that sort of thing, right?
The MBGS fits right across the four knuckles. Just saying.
Right. I don't know, man. Well, I'll have to get it somewhere someday. It's been a big part of my life.
What about right above the eyebrow? It's good. It's good spot.
Oh, my eyebrow, dude. That is
no right above it.
What about at your caregiver's event?
Right here. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Caribou, that is a beautiful piece there, buddy. Hey, listen.
I like that it's got a reclaimer in it.
Yeah, glad to see it's back on.
That's
Can
cool.
you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good. And we can hear you.
Hey,
Okay,
Caribou's going to
actually,
show
I don't
up on
know
his own show today.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that you guys hear me was actually the problem before. It was just like as soon as we went live, it was like I could hear you for like a bit, and then it would just like you'd fade out and then you'd fade back in. It was like, okay, this is just driving me nuts. So I'll just
Maybe
hang
you're
out.
just too high, Caribou. It was all
Well, I wasn't that high yet, though. I'd only done 2 dabs up to that point. So
how's the problem,
dude? It's all in your head.
Is it though? So I think it's about time to do a dab here. I got this little bit of this lemon meringue live diamond resin stuff coming on here. This is great shit that a girlfriend found for us a while back. Loving it. So I'm gonna do a dab with y'all and cheers.
You know what? I want to say this. Somebody in chat said that, fucking a QR code tattooed that would take you right to the fucking website, tattooed on the right ass cheek. If we ever got big enough, I will do that. I will.
It's a good idea.
I'm not gonna do that for you.
Dude, you gotta do it.
I'm tempted, but I'm not.
Fuck you won't. You'll do it live on the stream, goddamn it.
You're right. I probably would. I would.
That'd be great. They're gonna
that mean you gotta shave his ass?
I mean,
I'll come pre-shave for him. It's okay.
Bratwurst and burritos the night before that.
He's aerodynamic and shit, man. He shaves everywhere but his face, apparently.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Man, you gotta keep it tight for the old lady, man. You don't want her fucking all night long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want that shit.
That's just rude.
Sequence, remind us when you run your shows, please.
Sure. We do the Bro Show live. That's the next one, Sunday night at 9 o'clock from 9 until 11. You know what I mean? We have a schedule. We do the late sesh Monday at 11. So that's 11 until 1 o'clock. So at halftime is hash time on both of those shows. We do some dabs and smoke some hash. And then every other Saturday, we do the Wake and Bake show at 9 o'clock in the morning from 9 until 11.
Cool. Right on. Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah, you catch us on all of them or none of them. It doesn't matter either way. We enjoy all the company though. Your chat's popping over here too. We got a lot of viewers.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, and thank you. You have a following, and they're a big part of it too. It's a great community. Incredible.
You got any more questions, Rick? Did you write down stuff?
I did, but then I can't. Here's my problem. I use shorthand, and I write the question, then I don't. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I've got camera / multi-screen. Like what?
Okay, you asked about that.
We did talk about that. Okay, screen sharing. We talked. No. Okay, screen sharing. I guess is pretty basic. I mean, you go to another screen and click on, and then you click on the share screen button at the bottom.
Yeah, so you can click on that button. If you click it, it brings up all the options, and you can decide what screen to share, or you can share a window like your website or whatever, or you can share just sound or video or just portions of your screen. You have to be really careful when you share your screen to not share your address or like, go on. It's typical to go on like Amazon, right? And look around on stuff, and you can share your pretty close to your whole address on Amazon by accident. Or we had a moment on a show that was live, and we had to pause it, edit out Red's address because he was like, I wonder if my address is in here. Well, he was sharing a screen and scrolled up and he goes, oh shit, it is. And so that was really funny. That no longer exists on the internet, but you have to remember that because, you might not have a person that's smart enough to edit that shit out, and you might have to delete your whole show or whatever. But yeah, that's really it. Internet 101 stuff, like Painted Lady said in the chat.
I have to always remember to delete my Pornhub account.
You don't have to delete it. You just have to delete your search history so they don't know that you were looking for the weird shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because everybody's got one. Like, if you look for my OnlyFans, you'll find it. Everyone's got one, dude. If
I'm
you've
already
got enough
signed up to
money,
it.
if you got enough money, you can see my beehole right now.
It's worth it. You should
Okay.
definitely get on that.
That's why I'm broke. Kept on looking.
Kept on looking.
Yeah, that's why Sequence got a new house. DP
literally-
paid for it.
It's literally pay-per-view. So you get 10 seconds, and then you got to start over.
Isn't that like the red light district where you put the quarter in and the fucking thing goes up? You know, you see the stripper for a minute and then it slowly goes back down.
It's exactly what it's like, pay-per-view.
Okay. I think I'm just about questioned out. I Spartan answered the question yesterday, but of course it takes a few times. But
Well, you can't read your answers anyway after you write them down when you get them.
Yeah, good grief.
Okay, well,
Who writes in a language they can't read?
yeah, but you helped me on the first one. This one says show dash missing chat. And Spartan was saying that he puts up another screen and pretty much eliminates the picture, but he makes the chat bigger. And I
pops
thought,
his chat out. So do you know how to do you know how to pop out chat?
You can expand it and shit.
That's what he's talking about. So if you
Yeah.
click the three little dots to the right of live chat on the YouTube,
yeah.
Can I just explain this?
you can pop the chat out. And when you pop out the chat, it makes the chat bigger. And it makes the video go away. And yeah, Fluff did just explain this.
And you can once you pop out chat, you can actually exit out of your YouTube feed so it's not there, but your chat will stay there as long as you pop it out.
Yeah. And once I get past the once you pop it out stage, I'll let you know, okay?
Yeah. Leave the tip in, but pop out the chat. You know what I mean?
No, but
Sure.
You don't know what I mean?
Nice.
Prophet's mom's not getting it yet.
He's only
I
smacked
knew
her
he
upside
was
the
lying.
forehead with it.
You guys know how to check your email? Is your like grandkids sending you messages that are stuck in your spam folder and shit? You haven't seen them in years.
Yeah. Been there, done that. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, make sure you check your spam folders.
Yeah. Yeah, my worst experience was getting involved with a scammer. Did
you get catfished?
Nigerian prince.
I thought, did I tell this?
Were you sending a woman in Utah money?
Probably Russia.
Come on, finish. All right, now I want to hear it. Bring it on.
Mail order style.
I guess I'll never see that money, huh?
From that Nigerian prince? No, you ain't gonna see that shit.
So he says, my computer's fucked up. Call this number and we'll save your life. And I called it, and he said, okay, give me your credit card. And I said, okay, here it is. And then he came back. He said, they won't take the credit card. And I thought, well, fuck. So here's another one. Oh
okay. Shit, Rick.
Then he started working, and he's my mouse is going all over the cursor's going all over. And I get a phone call, and it's from the First credit card company, and they said, we just got a call from these people. They're scammers, and I'm going, well, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? And she said, well, turn your computer off. So I grabbed my mouse and I went to move it to turn the computer off. And they took the mouse and fucking dragged it back out and started working again. Well, the battle's on. And then finally, I'm losing it. I'm screaming, and I still got the First credit card lady on the phone. And finally, I said, what do I do? What do I do? And she said, pull the plug. And I said, okay. And I ran over, I pulled the plug and oh, fuck. It was too much.
Good thing that wasn't a warhead.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't
God.
believe you didn't do that the first time.
Seriously. Yank that shit.
Push the power button.
Oh, fuck.
Pushing the power button on your computer will not destroy anything. So always feel free to do that.
Oh, goodness.
I've seen that scam done to people. I just didn't know that I would know one of those people in real life. So, wow, wow, Rick. I'm sorry.
That's kind of boomerish. I don't want to say it, but yeah, I got to throw that there. That's like something I got to worry about my mom doing. I gotta be like, Mom, quit giving away your goddamn info. No, they don't ask you for your social security number over the phone. Stop doing that shit.
You get the pop-up.
And on that note, I got to take off, guys. I got to get my day started. But Sequence, thanks for being on. Really appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of the show. Have a good day.
See you
later,
Ritz.
Yeah. I'm afraid I got to get going myself, gentlemen. I got way too many irons in the fire. God, I was thinking back today. I think I took my last crop down around the beginning of April, and because I was anticipating selling the house and moving back down to the coast and doing something with my son. But the housing prices, they've just gone right through the roof everywhere. Like, I mean, houses are selling all over. Like, I could put that sign on the door tomorrow and like I'd have, I don't know how many offers by the end of the day. It's just craziness. I don't understand any of it. Anyway, we simply got priced out of the market in the Fraser Valley. Like a home you could have bought for $500,000 6 months ago are probably selling around $750,000. Houses are when you're getting multiple offers on every house that's out there, and they're all above the asking price. So maybe it's a good time to stay. So anyway, I stopped my crop and stopped growing, and I'm still not growing, and I'm really missing it. I gotta tell you, it's been a long time. It's been over 2 months now. And yeah, I miss it. So looking forward. In the meantime, I'm doing a shitload to get ready for it. So yeah.
So Rick, how soon after this are you gonna read the chat?
Well, it's on my oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, it's a big job, it's a big responsibility. Excuse me. I had a life before I met all you wonderful people, and I still have one.
I'm just curious if you're gonna read it today or maybe tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quite the commitment, man.
Oh, are you kidding? I love it. I mean, and I wish that I only watch my show twice and your show, but every other one I can get my hands on. And there's so many fantastic shows. They're informing and entertaining, and I fucking love it. And here,
you watch every show twice as well?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, fuck, man.
No. No, one is good enough, or most of one. I do my best. But what was my? Oh, here's my. This is a true confession, but it's a challenge to everybody. I'm this close. It's going to happen real quick. I'm this close to canceling my satellite. The money that I'm spending on my satellite, I'll give to other cannabis podcasts. And I challenge every one of us out there to do the same thing. I mean, what the fuck are we getting from network TV? I want to.
Now that's young person thinking there, Rick. That's what we all did. We cut the cable and basically nobody has it.
Yeah.
We stream a bunch of stuff, you know, and pay about the same price, but we'll have like Netflix and HBO and all that stuff on apps.
Yeah, but all them motherfuckers are getting to be assholes too and putting way too many commercials on their shit for stuff I'm paying for to not have commercials.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I just canceled Hulu, man, because of that shit. It was just we're paying. My wife's like, it was like 60 something.
Hulu was the worst one for that.
Much money for when it's that, yeah. So we canceled.
It's the same, yeah. Yep.
And from ourselves, you know, and for me, it's cannabis 24/7 in my house. So it's only YouTube, man, and other podcasts, and it's just cannabis, you know. So
yeah, Rick, you earned yourself some points back in the other direction with that move.
Yeah, well, it's time. It's time. Yeah. Good. I'll do it.
Were you talking to us, Sequence? Because you were muted.
Yeah, I saw I was muted. It's no big deal.
You can't just bust somebody's balls on mute and then not come back. I mean, it's
no. I was
curious.
gonna read the chat.
Was it the Grind the Gears one? Because that's the one that got me too.
Yeah.
I could totally see Rick doing that segment, couldn't you?
Oh yeah.
I think it'd be great.
Am I the only person still with cable? I still have cable. Damn.
What do you watch on cable? Jerry Springer?
No, man.
Oprah?
Well, a lot of Cartoon Network, and been watching the X-Files. But you know I have Netflix too. Don't get me wrong.
$6 a month and fucking get all the cartoons you want.
Hey man, I also got Funimation. I mean, I don't know. I don't pay for the cable. Mother-in-law's hooked on Cox. What do you want? I mean, I can't get her to switch teams. I tried.
You're hooked on Cox, huh?
No, I'm not. But yeah, I mean, I got all on demand, so I have access to everything.
Yeah. My and I can't wait to get it out of my life, but I'm a big CNN person, and not good, not healthy. I mean,
no good.
I'm curious about the world and
Crap News Network. You watch that?
Oh shit.
The Crap News Network, CNN.
CNN, yeah.
The Crap News Network, yeah.
All of the news networks, terrible.
Media in general is just.
It's just all the news networks and stuff that they still try to tell you they pride themselves on their fucking integrity, and dude, they're so sold out or one-sided that it's like, how can you even say that with a straight face and fucking mean it?
Yep.
Well, it's like I just got an email from the dispensary finally 2 weeks later after I bitched about that defective cart. They're like, "Oh, can you just make sure that you line it up correctly to screw it in?" Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks for the help.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Remind us the name of the company. Remind us the name of the company, DP.
Zen Leaf Dispensaries. It's owned by Verano. They're one of the big corporations going through all the states buying them out. Yeah, they're just making the cannabis game, especially the medical one, just a joke. You know what I mean? They're mislabeling, they're misadvertising. And then when you do have a problem with so-and-so medicine, you know what I mean? They make you jump through hoops to even get a hold of them, and then they treat you like that. You know, it's just.
I was just going to tap onto this, with Sequence here, all the guys in Michigan, they're very much about, their caregiver system and trying to make sure it stays. And that's why here in Illinois, like, we need to get a caregiver set up, because
that's why they went to give us one, because
he went to go get RSO, and he's getting sold a completely different product and being told it's RSO. And then when he corrects them, they're like, well, that's just what they label that as.
Hang up on me, because
that's wild.
It's crazy, man. And like, I'll even be in there.
That is wild.
I'll be in the dispensary and they'll just be giving misinformation to like people that are like, have some serious issues going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
People are looking to these people for advice, for leadership. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for a bubbly fucking salesperson and shit that doesn't know fucking anything. You know what I mean? I don't want that person. I'll go to Starbucks for that shit. You know what I mean? I'll get
Unfortunately, your typical barista, or what the hell they call themselves, bud tender, your typical bud tender is not super educated in the effects and the all of that stuff. The terpenes.
And that's fine for rec. I feel like if that's what they want, like a cute girl, you know what I mean, bubbly or whatever, cute dude, whatever, cool, have that. But for the medical sector, like, don't call it medicine, don't call it medical, don't use that word. You know what I mean?
You know, in the beginning of the game, we had passionate people. We had bud tenders that did their job.
Well,
they were all like red, you know. Like I would love to go to Reds.
Corporate cannabis isn't part of the cannabis community. You look at anybody within the cannabis community, we'll fucking cut off our left arm and give it to you for extra help. You know what I mean? That's what we do. That's what everybody's always done that I've seen since I was a kid growing up in the cannabis, you know, and like, that's not corporate cannabis. That's not what they're about. They don't care about helping anybody.
Right.
Spartan kind of nailed it the other day when he was just like, hey, you guys are struggling or something? Like, what the fuck? Your kids are hungry? You know what I mean? They're like, nah. He's like, well, then stop making me, you know what I mean? Let me eat. Let my kid eat. You know, he kind of nailed it when he said that shit because they don't care.
Yeah, I agree, man. I watched that you guys' show sequence, and man, Red fucking killed it, dude. Shout out to Red too and Spartan, man. I gotta catch the Medical Monday with Spartan on it still, but yeah, I agree, man. The place I used to go out here, you know, like I used to come back to my wife, like I get look like a fucking clown inside there when you guys are supposed to know about medical shit. I'm asking you questions and you're looking at me like I'm a fucking moron, but
like you're speaking Chinese to them.
That's what I mean. But you know, and then I'm listening to like what you're telling this old lady in front of you and shit, like you're about like the, you know, THC, you know, percentage, and you don't even make fucking sense. It's like, you know, like what the fuck, man. And you know, you guys all know, you know, yeah, Massachusetts is horrible, man. You know, for that shit, it's getting worse and worse out here, and you know, it's another reason why I'm fucking leaving out of this state. It's just, it's insane. And we spent so much fucking money, me and my wife, just trying to make something happen out here, and it's just, you know, it'll never be it because of corporations, and it fucking sucks.
I think that Red proves that you can find it. You just got to find the right place, right? And find the right person and shop around until you find somebody that can answer the question that you're asking them. But eventually you'll be able to.
People out there, but unfortunately, like what Fluffy was trying to say about Illinois and the caregiver system, they deliberately didn't give us one because they knew that we would take control of it because of they did the whole social equity thing here, right? But all these little fucking mom and pop places that popped up that got the social equity, they got bought out by Verano and all these other huge corporations that come in and just fucking sweat them out of the neighborhoods and shit. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, you don't want to play? All right.
Well, half of them didn't even get their license until it was already too late in the game to fucking even compete. So, what was the point of social equity?
$500,000 for something you can't even, it's not even a guarantee. That's $500,000.
Yeah, that's just to even put your name in the hat to get pulled. Yeah, that was, our whole system was fucked up from the get-go. The only thing that was good about it is they at least gave us a plant count as a patient to be able to do it.
And that was just kind of the hush money right there. You know what I mean? Hey.
Well, that was probably just to kind of push it along, get everybody fucking off their ass. They're like, all right, we'll give you fucking 5 plants, whatever.
And at that point, I don't think there was really, I don't know, because I wasn't in Illinois that long, but before.
Oh, we were, when everything started, it was going to be 24 plants. You know, it was going to be per household, not per person. You know, it was going to be 24 plants per household. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, I'll see them. They'll negotiate. They'll drop it down to 12. Like, we'll get our 12. They'll cut it in half. And I was like, so maybe like 12 per person or something, or however they'll do that. You know, that was pretty standard at the time. And nope, they chopped it right down to 5 plants over 5 inches. I was like, what is this bullshit? Like, what do you mean 5 plants over 5? And what's your definition of a fucking plant? Like,
I like that rule though. Let's go.
Right.
Scrognets at what, 5 inches? Unlimited plant count?
Yeah, but seriously, I can't grow if I fucking flip a seedling at 12, I'm already above 5 inches by what, 2 weeks in?
No, you grow it horizontally, bro.
Yeah, well, no one's ever gave real definition to it's 5 inches above the soil, 5 inches of stalk, 5 inches of, you know.
That's got to be 5 inches vertical with me and a good lawyer. We're going infinite plant count. Let's go.
I got one plant, you know, fucking 500 plants that just scale.
It'd all be 5-6 foot long along the floor, all tops.
That'd be great. There's, oh man, what was that? It reminds me of like that tomato that's been growing for like fucking 30 years or whatever. That's like going up and around the ceilings and shit, you know? Yeah, do
you're
something like
thinking
that.
too in the box there. Those are good rules when they say something like that. When they give you a
I don't have a lawyer to
They
play
tell
with,
us
but
that we don't have a clone until it's got roots, or if it's not considered a plant until it's, X amount of height and stuff like that. That gives you a lot of leeway to do different things.
yeah, it really does. But then, I mean, we're also in Illinois where, $10 probably buy you a judge's favor. It's pretty fucking shady around here.
Right. Yeah.
So, they might tell you 5 inches, but they're going to make it up on the fly what they want to decide what 5 inches is in which way.
Well, it depends on who's lied to them about what 5 inches is. You know what I mean, Fluff?
Yeah, and
I got away with it for a while.
Boom.
I had my wife convinced that this was 6 inches.
Nice, dude.
Rick was real excited when they switched over to the metric system because it got way bigger numbers,
like 8 inches,
quick. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking upped his game.
That's why he's so excited about this metric system thing. He's like, shit got bigger, dude.
Aren't we with you this morning, Prophet? Where's the White Widow and the Black Widow? Come on, buddy. How did this happen?
What are you talking about? They're asleep. It's Sunday. You don't fuck with poisonous and venomous spiders on the weekend, especially in the morning.
Right on. Listen, I would like to comment on the boycott, and I'm counting and hoping that things are going well in that department. And of course, I did watch the Monday Medical podcast, like all the other ones. Only once, but I really enjoyed it, and it was the older fellow with all the bling that made an interesting.
Mr. Hashbash, yeah.
Yeah. He made an interesting comment. I never get the opportunity to get to know these people. I just okay. That was the plant that the picture I was commenting on earlier. Is that your crop from last year?
Yeah. Yep.
Right on. Oh, I have seen that before. Yeah. No, that's beautiful. Anyways, what he said was that makes a lot of sense. Is yes, he encourage the boycotts, but talk to your legislators. Take the time to write them or what it takes to, because they're the ones that they're the ones that have all the kahunas.
Right. Yep. Exactly. We're trying to organize some people now and get some meaningful things done. After we saw that we were able to get one company to leave the MCMA, which was a good feeling, right? To make, I know that it's not a really impactful change necessarily because that company that left still has the same stance, but just to see that we made a change was motivating to a lot of people. So I think you're going to see a big push for that to continue as we move forward here.
Well, and that's, what you hope for, right? Is a snowball effect.
Yep.
They might still have the same stance, but it might show somebody else that leaving that pact ain't going to hurt them. And then, there it goes. It just keeps rolling. And that's what we want to hope for with something like that.
This thing is affecting all of you in all 52 states and territories. It's very unfortunate. They're just, I don't know. All the lobbyists have just taken over, and it's not a very.
It's just money, right? The money is following its best interests. So, I can only hold it against them in certain ways, right? Like as a business, I understand their move, but as a personal thing, they're affecting me. So I very much dislike it, and I'm going to resist it as much as I can. And I'm going to try to help my friends do the same.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. All the luck there, man. Listen, friends, I got to go. I love you all. Love you in chat. And we'll do this again real soon. Love you guys.
You say that like 15 minutes ago. You want to try to get you on a tangent again?
Right.
Hey, Rick, I got a question. Wait.
I just about got the heart thing figured out.
Are you trying to make heart hands?
Yeah.
Rick, it's already tacky. Give up the heart hands. You don't gotta learn that one.
Whereabouts in the Caribou region am I speaking to you from, Rick? Roughly. There we go, guys. I thought for sure.
Oh, damn, dude.
More minutes.
I'm so glad he's gone.
Thought that guy would never leave.
Never leave. There you go.
Thank goodness.
Hey, Rick, when you go back to watch this for the live chat, we love you,
brother.
Yeah. Now that he knows he can watch it at 2 times speed, his life's going to be changed.
Mm. Everybody's going to sound like the chipmunks to him.
Do you think he's going to be able to?
Videos. It's going to blow his brain.
I think there's going to be some shit. Like, he's not going to be able to do that.
He won't be able to keep up.
It's just going to fuck with him way too hard.
What he's going to do is he's going to watch it all on higher speed, all fucked up on mushrooms or something like that. It's just going to be sitting there kind of like almost a hair straight back experience, just like, oh my God, everything's moving so fast. Hold up. The high pitched chipmunks. It's going to be great. Okay, we'll debrief him later. We should get him to do that on.
Oh, do I check my emails?
Hey, Family Farms was asking about the pendant. Somebody, I do remember this being a thing, but was it Prophet? Were you looking for a glass pendant from somebody?
I wasn't particularly asking for a glass pendant. I use an actual onyx gemstone.
Yeah, he was thinking earlier, or Family Farms was thinking earlier in the show. It wasn't me, but thanks for thinking of me.
I don't know if I said it or not, but I could have. But I
think
didn't one. I don't know.
I think we were talking about it'd be cool to have like a hand blown glass one. I think was actually, and I remember being like, yeah,
I've got one, but I'm not wearing it right now. It's somewhere else.
It'd be cool to own one. I would definitely use it.
Is it the same place as your dab rig?
No, my dab rig's right here in front of me.
Your other dab rig?
That's it.
No, my other dad. No, it's not there. Hold on, I'll go look for it.
But yeah, I do remember the talk about it, but I can't remember who definitely said they wanted one. I think it was Prophet, if I recall.
I'll take your word for it. One of me said it, man.
I gotta clean this thing today. It's cleaning day, guys.
Nice and just slightly used there, hey DP. You're not much of a dabber, eh?
Yeah, slightly used.
I like it.
I should learn to clean stuff. Like
where's your old trusty handy dandy bong, Prophet?
I've been sucking on it all morning, man. The water's transparent at least. You know what I'm saying?
Like 2 days old. Pendant.
Oh yeah, that's cool as shit, dude.
So this is dot stacked hand blown with the opal in the middle there.
Fuck yeah.
Very cool. This is by Juju Glass.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you can get these for like $200.
That's not bad. Holy shit.
I was doing a design for somebody and his like are ridiculous. I don't know, like he does the like bead drawing on there or something. Like he does
yeah.
Shit, it's wild. I didn't even know people were doing that until I started looking at some of his stuff, and that I mean, it's always been an interest to me and stuff like that. And just being able to do that with glass is really gnarly. Ooh, wait.
Chad wanted to see some dabs. Here's some. Here's a baller jar.
It looks badass.
That is a fucking baller jar. How much you got in there?
I don't know. Here's another.
That's what I love about being a grower and being like the guy who just, they have all the stuff. You're like, how much is that? I don't fucking know.
This is amazing.
I know I have a lot of it.
Yeah, I have a lot of it.
Is that?
This is my rosin from dry sift hash from that garden behind me.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
Is that strain specific or everything just jumbled?
Here's. Though that trim is not the wet one is Death Star. This is THCA. This is Dirty Skittles. Hold on, let me get that.
Oh, yeah.
Or Dirty.
Do you have a preference when you're dabbing? Does it matter like if you're on like a slurper or like?
My banger I use is Quave.
Yeah.
So like that's I guess my preference because that's what I bought. But I like them all. And I have all of these different jars because I don't have really a strong preference. I just want to have the selection. So mood dependent, I can just always choose something different.
So with your concentrates, are you more strain dependent concentrate, or does the texture of your concentrate matter to you?
The texture matters a lot. So like the wetter ones generally have more terpenes. Stupid camera again. The wetter ones generally have more terpenes, so that generally will be an influencer heavily in what I choose to have. But then the effect matters a lot, right? So that's generally what makes you choose one over another one when you're going to do a dab. It's like, is this one going to make me tired, or is it going to make me awake? Is you know, all of these various things.
So when it comes down, it's not like you'll do like the butters and the sugars and stuff, but you're really more of the sauces and the rosins.
Yeah, so like the sugars and stuff will fall off of your dab tools. They can be hard to dab, and stuff like that. So that's kind of other driving forces against them. Butters and stuff are all amazing. Anything that's easy to dab is amazing. Shatter kind of is a pain, right? So it's just like a quality of life thing as well as a flavor thing, as well as, you know, all of it kind of together. I like diamonds in sauce. I like all of the dabbable consistencies, and then I go off of effect, so like up and down.
I always liked shatter. I thought it was actually pretty easy, man. You know, you break it up in your little chunks, you know, and then you can just use your hands. You know, I never had a problem.
So
I
know, but when you're breaking it up in your little chunks, how many of them ended up in the carpet or on the floor somewhere?
You gotta break it while it's folded in the piece of parchment, and then you snap it in the parchment, and then you open the parchment paper up.
Yeah, I never did the shatter. Like, you know, like I never got it cold and fucking like blasted or something. You know, I would always
real
break
stable
off.
Shatter will be like glass shatter at room temperature.
Yeah, you don't have to get it cold if it's shattered.
I would always, you know, I would always hold it in my hands. That way it gets that little bit of pliability to it. So I could just break off that one little fucking piece and not a bunch of shit. You know, every once in a while it didn't work out in your favor. Yeah, a little piece went flying, but
yeah, I prefer the stuff where, you know, this stuff I can get as much or as little as I want. It stays stuck to whatever I stick it to, because it's really the stickiest shit you've ever touched in your life. And or like, this is a jar of what was shatter that I heated up so that it wasn't shatter anymore. It's sugared up, you know. If you've ever seen shatter sugared up, that's what that is. And that is just so that I can dab it easier.
Now, to warm that, you just use a heating pad?
No, I just like sat it on top of my computer in this jar, and it just turned into that over the course of like a week.
That was, so just the heat from the computer was enough to get that up there.
Yeah, you can do it at like room temperature even.
Oh, yeah, I've never had that. I've always had fairly stable shatters that didn't.
It's got to have a decent terpene content to break down, I think, but it's nice.
I always like to, because I'm not a big dabber. I mean, I don't have a rig. I don't really care to. You know, I have like a dab straw, and I have a lot of electronic devices. So all my shit was always for how easy can I put it in a small electronic device and use it, you know?
Sure, yeah.
And shatter was always great for that, or like a drier butter, because, you know, it did make a huge sticky mess over all my shit.
Sure, yeah. You generally, I would advocate for everyone to get a rig, because that's the way to get the most out of your most bang for your buck, so to speak. So like a small dab goes farther in a rig, it gets you higher and it tastes better. So like those are all things that I heavily advocate for in general, right? And but I understand like the mobility aspect of a lot of the electronic things. Like you can take them on a hike, you can do all of those sorts of things. So I think that having them is useful. But like for my day-to-day to do as many of my dabs as possible, I definitely would prefer to have a rig and try to advocate and strongly push people to get one. The new Puffco Peak Pro is very, very nice. I got to dab out of one and I enjoyed it a lot.
I just got to hit my first one yesterday, and it was really, actually, I was surprised. It was really nice.
You know,
I didn't like the first one.
Turned really well. Yeah.
I got to wonder, between the Puffco Peak Pro, the new Pro's price, and like a Dr. Dabber switch, I think I'd go with the Dr. Dabber switch. I've heard that motherfucker will just bang your head off. And it's about as close as you can get to getting like a torched, you know, quartz dab.
I haven't tried that thing, but I have tried the Puffco Peak Pro, and I will tell you that you can hit it for like 30, 40 seconds and get a hit every single time, and the flavor stays. It's really, really cool.
Awesome. I used to use this. Used to be one of my go-tos. I love this son of a bitch. It looks exactly like an e-cig, so I can just drop concentrate in it no matter where I'm at. And when somebody smells weed, usually they don't look at me because it just
that's pretty cool.
like
yeah,
fucking e-cig, and it's it was super easy to load. You just pop the top. It's fucking magnetic, man. It's done. And that's why I always like the dryer stuff because it was convenient. But yeah, that's cool. But the switch is what I've been looking at to get a rig per se. And it's fucking cool. Have you ever seen one?
No, I haven't seen it. Mr. Rod says that he has the Puffco Peak set at 45 to 55 seconds. I hit it so many times off of one bowl. I was very impressed. It's almost like having a little e-nail, but at the same time, my friend that was sharing it with me, he said you can only do that like 5 times per battery, which makes sense. It's got to use a lot of juice.
Yeah, it's all about the heat up times with those.
You do a dab right now? I got my nectar collector here. I'm gonna do a whale of that peanut butter breath rosin, or not rosin, shatter that I've got. Anyone else interested in doing one?
I'll always do a dab.
Let's do it.
Let's see,
You always count on you, Sequence.
Yeah.
And pretty much everyone else watching is sitting there lockstep right behind on that one too.
I've done like 5 during the show, if anyone's kept track.
I don't know. I've done a few. Prophet, start talking.
I'm trying to get back to where I started, man. On my damn phone, I ended up exiting out of the show, and then I had to remember to get back into live chat.
Oh, you popped out live chat, but then you popped out.
Well, yeah, I accidentally closed the window, so when I came back in, it automatically defaulted to top chat. So I was like, oh yeah, don't be an idiot. Fucking go back into live.
So are you all about that fancy? Like, what are you doing? The quartz, obviously, is what you got there.
Yeah. No, I had to turn the torch off. The this banger that I have now is very expensive, but I enjoy it a lot. It stays perfect. It's so clear you can't even get it on camera. It doesn't have any water spots on it. I've done hundreds of dabs out of this thing already.
Looks good and thick too. I bet it holds heat like a motherfucker.
It does, but it was pricey. But I do like the quartz. I used to have an e-nail that was quartz as well. Oops, let me show off the. Let me see if I can get the focus.
That looks great.
How much do you said that was dry sift trim, right?
Not this one, but yeah, one? This was trim run. Yeah,
that was just trim.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much trim do you figure made that fucking jar right there?
I don't know. It's really hard to say. I had about 4,000 grams maybe ran total, and I got back like 6 of these jars. So I don't know, something like that.
That's awesome. Nah, that's fucking awesome, man.
Mr. Rods, this is a Quav Club banger.
Yeah, I ended up taking most of my trim nowadays, and it just gets made into edibles and stuff. So, but I've been wanting to get to figure out an extraction process, other than just, making edibles to do something a little more different with my stuff.
RSO is probably the easiest thing. And then if you don't have that, the guy that does all of my stuff, whoa, shit. I thought the cap was on there. The guy that does all of this stuff for me, he's got like $25,000 in equipment to run BHO. He's not using a PVC tube in his back, back 40. So try to find a guy like that and do business with him
Here,
in
Spartan.
as small of a quantity as you can, and then just to make sure that you don't get screwed over. And then if he doesn't screw you over, then you can trust him with some more. But I've had a lot of bad experiences with extractors. Some of them will take your stuff and keep it. All sorts of horrible things have happened to people. So don't get committed with some huge run of all of your life savings of trim. Give them as little as you can at first, and make sure you get back what they agreed you'd get back, and then move on from there. My expert advice in that avenue.
I am very fortunate that I know my extractor.
Yeah, we have one person in the chat who's not the farthest away from me that I can make work. It's a hell of a haul, but if I had to do something, he knows an extractor. I could take a 3-4 hour drive, go get, some extraction done and then come home. But it's just hard to find an extra, 6 to 8 hours in a day to do something like that. Got to find somebody closer. But yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, I've been kind of looking for an extractor, and that you bring up a real good point to be careful with who and what you're dealing with, because I could definitely see them taking something of a higher quality than what they have and reverting it somewhere else and giving you shit back, because they think they can fucking trick you or something. But
well, there's also the aspect, because like I said, I know my extractor and he deals with getting people's material and turn it into shatter and whatnot. But what a lot of people don't realize is also the quality of the material is going to determine the yield. So you can never truly have a complete ratio if you're growing a different plant every time, or if you're getting handed 3 different strains of trim. It's really hard to even give you a guesstimation of the trim to yield ratio. You know what I'm saying? So unless you know that aspect of it, So I mean, no one could truly tell you. They can give you a roundabout idea what your outcome should be, but you could get more or you could get less. It depends on the material.
I have had a thing happen where my extractor would say he's had people tell him that he gives them back a lot more than other extractors used to give them back. So maybe they are kind of fudging the percentages a little bit to keep more for themselves, or maybe they're not. You know what I mean? But you can kind of shop around that way too, because a lot of them will say they want to keep like 30% of your run, right? So if you give them the same trim every time and some guy gives you a decent bit more back than the other guys, then maybe he's the honest one, or whatever, and you can maybe figure it out a little bit more that way. But like Prophet says, you are growing a plant and it's going to vary. So
yeah, I'm not dealing with anything big enough where I gotta fucking have a guy and he's gonna take any amount of time to do it. We're talking more like weekend fucking smoke sesh, let's press some shit, and I'm gonna be there to watch the whole thing. So whatever comes out, that's really what I'm looking for. I don't have enough to really send anything to somebody to get a mass project done. So I wish I did, but
for my guy, what I do is I tell him that I want all of the material back, regardless of the quality, right? So if I give him, I know how much he needs for a run, so to speak, and I'll give him a quantity for that, and he'll give me just like a base price to get back all of the return. And then that way he's not responsible for getting any back, because like a typical thing would be like a return, right? 70-30 or something like that. But for him, if my material is really bad, then he's got stuff that's not worth anything to him, that sort of deal. So then if you just pay them to do the whole run, you get back all of your stuff. And then that's in everybody's kind of best interest. So I think if you could try to work in a relationship like that, that works really, really well. Where if you go just a bulk X amount per gram, and I'm going to give you this many grams, you give me back my stuff when you're done, that sort of deal. That's what I would try to advocate for.
yes. Yeah, it's always good to know who's doing your work too. I mean, Do a little
like
fucking
Prophet
research
said.
on that person. Yeah, talk around. Know who you're dealing with.
If they have a reputation already, that's usually a good sign that they're not going to be one to screw you over, because they have something to lose. So I always like to do business with people like that as well.
Yeah, and open and honest, man. People who will tell you.
I like how everybody in your circle kind of gravitated toward kind of one sector of the field almost. Everybody kind of has their niche in it.
Yeah. It's very cool how we ended up with a show of people that does so many different things and then also so many of the same things. And we somehow get along, right? Because in my opinion, I feel like I do what I do because I feel like it's the best way, right? And I think that you do what you do because you feel like it's the best way. So the fact that I can talk about what I like to do and you can talk about what you like to do without having an argument because we both feel like we're doing it the best way, is an important thing. And it's something that we've tried to push forever on our show, is that all of these ways can be the best way depending on what your life is like and a lot of other factors, right? And like your personal ethics and all sorts of things will push you towards all of these different directions. So it's cool, really cool to have like every viewpoint represented, everyone possible. We just don't have DWC. But I don't know anybody that grows like that anymore.
One person, I think. But I can't think of anybody we chat with or anybody running DWC. Really.
I think Stoney's about to go back on one of them. I think he's about to put two in the DWC he was talking about the other day. But I think he just got bored. We want to go back to it. He said it was fun with it and stuff. But yeah.
I remember trying DWC a few years ago when I tried getting into hydroponics and having what it, to me was great success, having never done it before. And you're looking at the root porn and seeing how big these plants and stuff will grow. But then I kind of, as I tried to go from just a bucket or two here and there to like full table system, I kind of got a little too big for my britches and fucked it all up and just was like, no, swearing off the hydroponic style and just stick it in the dirt and using the same nutrients. And then shortly after that, fuck that, let's go organics. And
I think a lot of people get into it and they don't realize how much work it is, and then how many fucking moving parts go into it, and like all this shit you got to clean and uptake and make sure. And, it's a passion project.
That's my biggest problem is to survive in my garden. Plants got to be able to take a bit of shit and abuse. I could come home or I could go to work tomorrow, Monday, say, and find out at like 7 a.m. that I'm leaving town tomorrow night to go and work a job out of town somewhere. Like shit like that happens, not regularly, but it's not uncommon either. So all of a sudden I can't see my plants for a few days, right? So if you can't be there to monitor pH swings or fucking any of that, it just, as I've already stated, my axe was just like, she did all the trimming and all that kind of stuff, the stuff that I didn't want to be doing anyways, but for the actual dialing in your nutrients and paying attention, it just wasn't going to happen. So you need forgiveness in my garden.
Yeah, I'm the whole reason pretty much the whole reason I went organic is simply because I can take zero time in my garden if I want to. I can, I travel for work quite frequently, so I can be gone from my plants for a week. And I know if on that day I left, I gave everybody a good watering and everything's good and everything's staying the way it should be, that I can leave for a week, leave everything unattended, come home and everything's fine.
Yeah. And I think when I get back to growing here, I'll end up be doing sip containers or something to that effect, where I can just go and if I can only see it once a week, that's fine, because I don't think I'll be growing at wherever I'm living. It's just kind of finding a place that's big enough that that'll allow me to grow. It's just seeming like what the fuck, but I have had a couple friends that have offered to hold on to a tent for me, right? So if I figure if you got like sip pots or whatever like that, I'm already making my soil that I've yapped about. Got that brewed outside. And then I've got the Blue Sky Organics line that I'm going to run. So if you brew your teas up and stuff on, say, like Friday and feed those Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever your time period seems to be, fill up all your reservoirs and then you should be good for a week. And you can still go in there during the week and do all your defoliating and all your other general care stuff that needs to be done. It's because I think that wherever, like I said, kind of how to combat the problem I have where all my other genetics are like those freak shows, right? My problem there is, yeah, they are surviving, but that's all it is. And you wouldn't want to waste the money on the electricity to try and pull off an actual smokable crop with that, because it's not worth it. So these will at least be close enough that we can get there a couple times a week if need be. I hope I'm making sense. It seems like an awfully long ramble, tangent, whatever the fuck I just did.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what we were saying, right? You used it to, extend your timeline to, yeah, it's easy. It's easy care. If I had the time and I had the inclination and I wanted to drag race my plants from the start to finish, I'd grow like sequence. When I have time for that, when I have the extra money to set up the automation, that would be a giant passion project for me. But it would require more care than I'm allowed to give my plants at the time. So now I can grow what I feel like is a pretty amazing crop. It's pretty good stuff. And do as little care to it as I can. It's all the pre-love that I gave it, shows through in the end product. So I give it all the love and attention when I have time, and that soil and everything, and that fruits for me as it's growing and everything else. So that's my, and like you said earlier, that's the way you do it. That's the way you're comfortable with. That works for me. It's my best way.
Right.
And,
exactly.
Hydro is much less forgiving. Like
I can easily get away with filling my res once a week and never looking at my plants. I can do that for sure with my setup, but yeah,
but you can't not really be in your garden for a weekend. I mean, you got training and those things are growing so goddamn fast that you got shit to do throughout that week.
Always.
Your organics people have kind of said it. Sometimes it can be a slow crawl. So in a week, when I come home for a weekend, I can use that weekend to catch up and leave for another week. Where if I was running your system, I'd be hauling ass, man. If I didn't show up till Saturday, I couldn't get all the work done before next Saturday. I'd be fucking way in the weeds.
It can be like that sometimes. You can really miss the window on when you can put nets in and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so that's like I said, this is my style, and this is what works perfect for me at the moment. And someday I'll do something else cool.
The plants behind me are held up by fence, so it's nylon coated metal fence instead of a net because they were so big.
So I've always had I like the whole plant hang, and so scrogging with like a big metal panel or fencing, or even like I've seen people use like the orange snow fence
there's no way you're whole plant hanging those plants.
No, you ain't never whole plant hanging anything in one of those things.
We were chopping those down with an electric chainsaw. They were real big. We had to cut each one like branches and put them on hangers. We filled a 10 by 10 with hangers, two rows like this, a whole 10 by 10, and then a 4 by 8 or no, a 5 by 10 tent filled with hangers, 2 rows high.
Yeah, it's a great, I'd probably be a lot easier, to hang something not as whole plant, when you're like my outdoor, I have no intention on whole plant hanging my outdoor plant.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't. I do agree it's the best way. I do agree. Yeah. Sometimes just logistically it's impossible. And when you like scale.
Yeah, but it sure would be nice, if I was growing that big monster scrogged out like that, to use like the metal fencing. That way, because I hate restringing and I like to, yeah, and I don't like when my netting moves. When my plant fucking really forces my netting into a different position. I hate that shit.
Millennial netting can't support itself.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's the only thing that keeps me away from that right now is just
you only single net, don't you, Fluff?
Yeah, I only run a single net. It's basically just for support and to keep the spacing. I'm not, as I train as it grows into the net, so I fill a net and then flip, and then everything above that, which it bites me in the ass sometimes. I get a little too thick by the time flower comes around. I don't do enough pruning, but that's just me being a dipshit. That's not my style. It takes a little longer to do it the way I do it, but I get a real good mature plant. My plant's very mature by the time it comes down to throw it in the flower, and I believe that's good for the expression and everything of the plant.
Yeah, I agree. These plants behind me, though, like they needed another layer. Like you can see some of them are like at 4 foot above the fence, and that's too much unsupported stem for especially in Spartan's case, for example, when they're at like Mitten Canico and they're running GMO, and it's getting like 3 different layers of trellis, which is crazy, but sometimes necessary to keep them from falling all over each other.
Yeah, I just don't have that problem. I have 100-year-old basement ceilings, which are only 7 foot tall, so I don't have that problem at the moment. My outdoor, I have that.
I have 100-year-old basement ceilings now too, man.
Oh, so you feel my pain, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'm getting ready to. I'm building that room now.
Yeah, but you got those nice Loriflux. You can fucking grow a little taller than I can.
Yeah,
I got 2 cannons in a fucking tent that's only 7 foot tall. Now, I don't move my lights. They fucking blast from 24/7. And hell, I got a plant that's only halfway up my tent right now that is pissed. That's so close to the light.
It sounds like you bought everything that would fight against your growing space.
I did. But what happens is the plants that come out of it end up coming out real strong and healthy.
Good.
Yeah, so
I'm in the basement too, man. I feel your pain.
Definitely
it's good. Weather modulates weather and gets you better averages that way. That really brings down the cost.
Yeah, and I mean, general theory of CO2 heavier than air, so your CO2 is going to be heavier in your basement. You're cold, you're going to have less heating costs because it's generally going to be colder in your basement. So there's a lot of advantages to it when you can get down in one.
Besides, the only disadvantage is the height of the lights. That's really what it comes down to.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, even if I built out instead of using my tents and I just built out, say, a tent, I could gain a lot of headroom that way, because I can slam my light like with a fucking ring screwed into a floor joist and raise everything up. And, my tent doesn't actually hit 7 foot, my tent's actually, I think, 4 inches lower than my 7 foot ceiling because that's the standard size they make. So, dealing with that also.
One of many reasons why I advocate for building a room, right? So you can maximize your space.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even just building, not really, I guess it'd still be a room, but you think about it as a tent because it's so small.
Like a panda film room or something.
Yeah. I need to. I mean, I built tents that way. It's just PVC and that like bubble foam that's shiny on both sides. You can get like rolls of it. I've made tents with that. Hell, I got one running right now. It'd be easy to make a room out of that.
That's what I got. I hook in the floor joist, just screwed right in, and then mount my light as high as I could. And I even cheated a little bit. I took the string to my because you know how you try to hook the thing up to a freaking pulley or whatever, and when you jack that thing all the way up, you still got like that much space that you could actually steal. So I just wrap my string and tie it through the eye loop to right around the actual duct exhaust that sticks out, so it jacks it up a little bit higher. Like I said, if I didn't have my central AC, I'd be able to gain a few more inches, but the damn main hose runs right across the middle of my room, so I can't do shit about that.
Johnny coming back on just to show us lunch?
Yeah. I don't know, but that's a dick move.
That's some salsa I just got delivered to me.
Johnny just
intro. He knows everybody smoking up for the last 3 hours like crazy, getting a wicked case of the munchies going off. So he's got to pull that move and just be like, "Hey, food, fellas."
Yes, sir. I better put it in the fridge so the wife don't kill me. I'll wait till she gets home to try it.
Johnny's probably napping. He just woke up.
Who just woke up?
You probably just woke up.
You did.
I
You
just
gotta clean
got
your
off
counter,
work.
Johnny.
I told you guys I was going to work.
Yeah, that's what you call it.
I did. I went and planted them. I had 6 plants I had to put in the ground.
How are your knees, Johnny?
My knees are pretty good. I got a little soft bench I set them on.
Perfect.
He's an expert. He knows how to handle that.
Yeah.
Prophet told me all the secrets.
Yeah. Knee pads. I keep telling you to invest in a pair.
He's got that garden pad, he just said.
Yeah, but the knee pads are so much more efficient. Plus, you can work outside the garden. You're not limited.
All right, shit, guys. I better get my fucking day moving here.
No.
Oh, okay. I'll stay here then. Fuck it.
All right. We got at least do one dab.
At least one.
At least.
All
right. One more dab for Fluffy, I guess.
Wait, is this for Fluffy or Johnny? Who's this for?
See how easy
It's
it is
for
to
everybody.
twist Fluffies are?
Dude, it is. I'm terrible at fucking leaving. Because if I leave, I gotta go do like housework and shit. I gotta like clean and do all that.
Hey,
That's stupid. I don't want to do
guys.
that.
All I know is I have to get medicated. My mom called me, and I haven't been looking forward to this call, but she says we need to sit down and talk. She's got some important paperwork she wants to show me, so I need to get medicated, and I needed to talk to you all before I get in that frame of mind. So thank y'all.
Oh, yeah, dude, I understand. We just had that one with my parents not too long ago. That's a shitty one. Like, even if nothing's wrong, it's still just a shitty conversation because you have to think about it.
I'm not wanting to either. You know what I mean? I've been trying to put this off. My wife got on me to call my sister. I said, no, these fuckers know my number. They can call me. So I'm kind of glad my mom called. So, but at the same time, I don't want to hear the shit.
Yup, I get it, man. Oh, I gotta change my coil on my stupid little dab thing here. That is terrible.
Quartz doesn't have that problem.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's another reason to get a nice quartz banger. So it's always
Okay,
well.
good.
I'd never clean the motherfucker. I'm terrible.
Little turpometer action, show the temperature.
Fancy pants. You know, I have looked into. Have you seen the Rio rig? Have you heard of that one?
No, I haven't.
It's cool little plastic piece. It's got a torch built into the bottom of it, and above the torch is a dab rig with a water reservoir and everything. It's supposed to be like one of the best like cold start dab rigs, you know, to use. Just design works out perfectly for it. You know what I mean? But that's one, and I think that will probably be my legit dab rig when I buy one.
I feel like with the single source of heat, I don't like that idea, but because you can't move the heat source around like the bowl.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to have like an uneven heated surface. But in general, I don't look up any of the new dab gimmick gadgetry because
it's really hard to surpass how good the glass is. But then it's
Right.
up to, like, again, it's more portable than a rig and stuff. So if that's a concern of yours, then it highly favors that sort of design.
Yeah, no, really, when it comes down to portable, I don't worry too much about how great my experience is going to be, because it's not going to be great, because it's all portable shit, right? You're not in your good place. You're not fucking taking your time. You're not really enjoying it. You're just fucking medicating and going, So for that, I use simple shit. I got like my little seahorse here. You put that son of a bitch in your pocket and throw a jar in, and you're good to go, man.
So then my opinion is, if it's something for home, then you can get any piece, right? Any small dab rig. You don't have to get a $170 banger. Just get a banger or a whatever, and you're going to get the most out of your experience, and probably be cheaper than whatever gadget they're trying to sell you.
Yeah. Actually, my my kid went to one of our local head shops, and he picked up this motherfucker, and it cracks me up. You ever seen one that's got like sand in the bottom of it that changes color,
Yeah.
temperature?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
There's
used
a
it
lot of
once.
gimmicks in that game too. Yeah, on the glass side of things.
Yeah, we used it once, man. Fried a bunch of shit all over it, and it's
Yeah.
never been used again.
What I would say is follow the guys that like share the famous dabbers, right? The guys that share that stuff and the guys that do it, and you'll see like what's in style and what is and isn't good, right? Because you'll see them doing certain things with certain inserts, and you'll be like, okay, what's that, and why are they using that? And then you'll figure that out, and that's really some of the ways to keep up on it. You won't see them use those bangers like the one you just showed me, because like not all of those ideas are great ones, and you know what I mean, that sort of deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I laughed my ass off when the kid brought it home. I was like, "What the fuck is that bullshit?" He's like, "It's supposed to tell you when it's the temperature." I swear to God, that fucking glass was red on the bottom before you see that sand started to change fucking color. I was no, you ain't taking a dab out of that
banger, like with everything that's going on with it, was probably like $30 or something. And this very simple clear glass regular quartz banger was $170, right? So like,
right.
None of the gimmicks really matter necessarily, or they do or don't, you know what I mean? But even the best glass is it's mostly about the quality and because it'll make sure that you can keep cleaning it over and over, and then how well it retains heat. Like the better quartz will retain heat better. But you can get away with a cheap banger. You can get a whole setup for like $80, and bypass any gimmick. And then
yeah, when I first started, I think I bought this one for like $20. It was like the first little dab rig I ever bought.
And then you can get a little banger in there, and then a cap, and you're good to go.
Like I had people
keep it clean.
$10, and yeah, that's the biggest thing, is keeping them clean. And then, but like you said, my first course one, I mean, that thing lasted forever. You know what I mean? And it is really, people can complain about prices and stuff, but most of the time, as long as you're doing your homework, like you said, you're getting what you pay for. Especially in the dabbing world, that's not the cheapest hobby in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, there's no moving parts, right? That's two pieces of glass, your rig and your banger. So like, your honeybee and your whatever that's battery operated and all of that stuff, it can break a lot easier. As long as you don't tip this thing over, you've got it forever. So like, you've got that to think about.
Yeah, I'm always the person who how when you work with somebody else's stuff, they say treat your tools like you would treat your own. I treat everybody's tools like they're somebody else's, because I break my shit. I use my shit hard. Everything I have gets used fucking hard to its fucking fullest. So I don't have glass. I have titanium. I have things that don't break. But I absolutely, I break fucking electronic devices all the damn time. But
I'm with you. I can't do fragile. I've got glass rigs and stuff like that, but I'm very aware of them, and they've all taken tumbles and somehow survived. What I'm bad for is I go through bangers like most people go through underwear, for fuck's sakes. It's just bad. Be sitting there on the desk or whatever, and you like go to put like a long sleeve button up shirt on or something like that, and as you're sweeping it on, it just kind of goes across the desk. Oh, there goes fucking, or something sticky. It'll be kind of a bit of a sticky residue, and you'll like it'll stick onto something and just get
the zong.
Boom, hit the ground. But or I've even had bangers that I just like weren't even in the rig, just kind of
badass,
out of the way, or so I thought. And then you forget about it and you go to move something and it was on a stack of papers and all of a sudden, smash, hits the ground. I'm bad for them.
Right? Always check your lap. You know, you're cleaning out that banger. You put it in your lap, you threw the Q-tip away, you grabbed your drink, you stood up, boom, there it goes. But, you know, someone in chat just said it too. And I actually have this question because this one confuses me a lot. So at home use, right? I would dab at home. That'd be the only time I would dab. I have propane torches at home. I don't know why anybody would fuck with a butane torch, go through all the butane, buy that expensive ass torch when I can just fucking, butane it. So is there a reason to have the torch? Is it better than the propane? Is it?
All right. So
it's compact, I imagine.
Look at this, Fluffy. I got 2 jets right there. That's how awesome that is. Propane doesn't do that awesomeness.
So this is probably the most famous torch, the Blazer Big Shot. This is the one you'll see all the dabbers use.
Yeah.
It's got a big ass flame. The flame's like,
yeah,
it's a chonker. The propane torch gets hotter, but it's a very small flame. So the problem is heating it evenly. So with this big flame, I can actually heat the banger faster because it heats the whole thing at the same time than heating this and trying to like wave it around and keeping it even. And then with this hot flame, you risk like overheating portions of your banger, which can actually destroy the glass. So you want to, that's why other people will use butane, because it's a little bit cooler of a flame. And then I like this one because you're getting a lot more flame out of it at one time.
I also heard using propane, you're using it like on the that you're actually using the combust, like so for like something like a nectar collector or something like that, it can actually leave residual something. I don't know.
No, I personally feel like that opinion is full of shit.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's
the
just
propane that you're using is literally cooking fuel for campfire stoves to like make hamburgers for your kids. Like, it can't be very dirty. It's got to be tested, and pass that testing.
Well, but that would bring up an important point: is don't use just the random shit that's at Menards, in the plumbing section.
That's true.
Go to the camping section, get the shit that's made for your stove. I don't know if there's a difference, but I can damn sure tell you, in my field, when we go to get gases, we have nitrous, we have helium, we have all that stuff. You don't want to be huffing fucking helium on a job site because it's fucking got all kinds of shit in it, because we don't need it to be clean because we're, using it in the process of welding.
Right.
So
with the butane, they refine it. They have like 5 times refined, 7 times refined, 10 times refined,
Well,
the main goal of that is to keep the torches and stuff from burning up. The impurities will destroy the nozzles and stuff in the torches.
Right.
Well, both of them are so high that they whatever you're heating, they're going to basically burn off everything. So I don't have any strong opinion on one or the other. I used to use propane a lot. I just use this one now because I can do it faster, and I'm on a show and stuff. I can heat my nail in like 10 seconds.
Well, I think that was kind of the point I was trying to drive to, I think, was right. The propane is definitely a hotter flame. Like, I think anybody who plays with fire knows that. And I guess, I was thinking more like, I don't know anything about the glass, the quartz, all that. So yeah, with that propane heat would generally be almost too much for.
It can be, yeah. So if you heat your quartz until it's red hot, which is what people always used to do, this is how you would time a dab. You'd heat it until it was red hot and then let it cool down for whatever set amount of time you decided was acceptable, right? Well, that destroys your glass. Everyone that used to do that knows that your glass quickly goes cloudy, and that wrecks the flavor. and then it starts to like, and that's called the devitrification, if you want to Google that. But like, I know all the science on that, and I've done hundreds of dabs through this dab or through this banger. It's perfectly clear because I've never heated it until it was red hot, not one time. Because I have a fancy tool like this that can tell me what temperature my dab is. You know, so that saves me from ever having to buy this piece of glass ever again, which is important because that one's expensive. And but like, you can take care of it in a responsible way, and you can have that stuff literally forever because that's made to be heated up, but it's only made to be heated up to its temperature, you know, to its range. And as
See, I
long as
wish
you
I
don't,
would have known about this stuff when I started doing dabs, because that was another thing. Like when I started, I was the propane torch guy. The only reason I'm using butane now is because I went on the road for work and forgot my propane, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go buy butane torch while I'm on the road."
yeah,
And so, anyways, I'd heat all my fucking bangers up, and there's a couple times because I didn't know any better, right? I didn't have anybody to teach me about dabs. I thought it was kind of like hot knives, right? Heat that fucking shit up. So your banger's glowing red and right off the bat, and then you drop a nice fucking wet dab because you're not even waiting for it to cool down. Because once again,
I used to do it, dude. That's how we dabbed when we started.
And then you shock your fucking quartz bowl or whatever, and all of a sudden it's got a crack in it or whatever. It's so it's like at first it was like there was times I would crack it the first dab, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like, this is fucking stupid, fucking expensive. You know how it is when you get upset with stuff. And then finally, like through meeting people on Cannabis, like some of the guys you're looking at right now, they're like, no, dumb. Lower your temps a little bit, and then I find like your lungs don't feel nearly as shit kicked either.
Right.
We've all been there with the raspy after doing dabs all day long.
That's because you're getting fucking boils on your vocal cords from torching them.
Pretty much why everybody in the world was always scared of dabs at first, because they saw the first generation of dabbers doing red hot fucking dabs 24/7 and just
That's how we
dying.
used to do it. Red hot dabs of black BHO.
I work with a bunch of those guys. Like they're all great guys, but you know, we're talking like mid 40s, 50-year-old guys. So they're, you know, about 10 years older than I am. And they've done dabs before, and they won't go fucking near them because they're afraid of what it'll do to their lungs. Like, yeah, you can do those dabs still, but like I tell them, man, you start off at a little bit colder temp. Like when you guys started telling me to try out like those cold start dabs where you have it in the banger and slowly heat it up. Wow, that was a whole different world. It never even occurred to me to try that, right? Because like I said, starting off, dabs are always hot as fuck, and then after a while, I was like, oh no,
right.
let it cool off a bit. But now start off cold and then heat up. That was another
game
you
changer
get multiple
for sure.
hits and you don't cough once.
So what do you what temperatures are you dabbing at, Sequence? I know you've said it 100 times.
440 or so. No, I don't think I did on this show, but yeah, about 440 or so. It depends though. That's a complicated answer because this tool reads, you know, kind of its own temperature range, right? And then it seems to be a lower temperature than like an e-nail or an IR gun, you know, that sort of thing. So like we dab at 550 or so with an IR gun when we do terp slurper dabs. So that's kind of interesting. And then I think with an e-nail, it's because it's heating up an element, but then, you know, you've got heat transfer through the quartz. So maybe it's dissipating some heat to the air, you know, or whatever. So you have a little bit of a loss. So that's
the thing you got's just a contact fucking
exactly.
Right?
So it's
so that's giving you exactly what your temperature is. There is no bullshit there.
But my point is, like, I bet the viewers, maybe none of them have this. So some probably have an IR temperature gun that would read comparatively to this, like my 440, yours would say like maybe 470 or something like that. Sometimes it's 70 degrees off difference, which I think is interesting.
So we use IR guns a lot, and there's kind of like some important things to know about them is, you know,
for sure,
you will not get a accurate temperature if you're shooting it on something shiny. Like people don't know that. Like you just don't. Like if the shinier it is, the worse your temperature reading is going to come out of that. So, you know, shooting it through glass, you know, all kinds of things cause. It's a great tool to have, but it's not real great for dabbing, for accuracy anyway.
Right. And like the dab right is another tool that people use. It's another IR thing, but it shines at the bottom of your banger, and they use that.
Yeah, the one that was like made from like a little base, and you
Yeah, my buddy's got one of those. They just got those dab tool things like you got up at the local shop where I'm at. I'm going up there today to talk to my buddy.
I really like it, man.
Yeah, they're pretty gnarly, and I mean, I'm tired of going through bangers and anyways. And ever since my buddy got one, whenever he comes over, I love it when he uses. He has like not the dab right, it's the cheaper one. It doesn't have like the movable fucking platform thing. It just sits right up underneath. It's like a puck, but I mean, that thing's a game changer. It really is.
Total game changer. Yep.
It really is.
I don't go anywhere without this thing. I'll use it everywhere.
That's what I like about those. But I mean, with those, like I got some live sugar right now. You know what I mean? So like with that shit, I'd have to do it and then have something else ready or something. You know what I mean? That's
well, I'll do the temperature
that's like the
thing.
most direct thing, you know. Like
I'll get the temperature and then get my dab and then just dab it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, pull your fucking thermometer out at about 10 degrees above what you want, and then fucking get your sugar and dab it out. You know.
Yeah, and then that thing has different attachments, right? So you can put like a shovel on it or whatever, right? I think I saw you doing that. Yeah.
I would like to make a different attachment for the end of this that I don't think they have. Yeah, they have a bunch of different ones on their website.
Shout out to those 3D printer guys.
That's all milled shit, right? That's
Yeah, this is all. I don't know what it's made with, but yeah.
Yeah, probably like 304 or something, I'd imagine. Anyway, that's a badass tool. I didn't really, you know what? And all the times I've seen you use it, I've fucking seen it around. I did not realize there was a dab tool on the end of it. You fucking idiot. I kept thinking you were fucking grabbing something else. God damn, I need to get less fucking baked while I'm watching your guys' shit.
You're perfectly fine, Fluff. You're perfectly fine.
Don't listen.
Honey, that means a lot coming from
It's
you.
Sunday morning, man.
All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to do some stuff today. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Absolutely, man. Hey, man, and thanks for all the kind words at the beginning of the show, man.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
I went to Ace and they tested.
Thanks for coming on, Sequence.
Yeah, man, anytime.
Yeah. And do you want to go ahead and throw out a shout out for all your stuff while you're here at the end, or
sure, if you want. Check us out, Michigan Bros Grow Show. We do shows Sunday at 9, Monday at 11, and every other Saturday at 9 a.m.
It's all that stuff eating.
Yeah, so anybody who hasn't seen it, I'm sure everybody who's around our place, around your place, we all know you. But, you know, if you haven't seen it, go check them out, man. It's a damn good show. A lot of good information, good fucking people, good hang.
Try to be entertaining. Try to be like you guys. Yeah.
Oh, don't do that, dude. That's just bound for failure.
Yeah.
That or deletion from YouTube.
If you're unfamiliar with your show and you haven't actually seen it, you've been bullshitting with most of the people from that show throughout the entirety of this episode of our show right now. That's how awesome they are. They show up for us pretty much every day. We appreciate the love, guys. We'll give it back every time we get the chance.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you. You too, my man.
Later, man.
On that, I should probably also get moving. Like I said, I was going to before.
Yeah, same.
You pulled the Rick.
Water downstairs, and I got a bunch of shit to do too. So.
All right. Hey, everybody in chat, man, panel. Everybody have a great day.
Cheers. I'm calling you later.
Cool
Be
today.
ready.
All right, I'll answer. Don't worry.
Tell your wife you're ready.
All right, guys, I'm jamming out of here. Thank you, everybody in chat. Later, guys. I love you guys.
All right,
later, Andy.
Hey, brother.
Good seeing you.
I gotta go too. I gotta get working on this pool. So, growers love. Have a blessed day, y'all.
All right. Love you.
Later, Johnny.
Yeah. I think I found somebody with a favorite name now. The Jason Lean. I like that one. That's a good name. But Ye Motherfucking Hoss still holds the title.
That's good shit.
I'm gonna get going as well, I guess, guys.
I was just about to say the same thing. It's we got people are starting to wake up around the household. I managed to give them about a little over 3 hours without waking up everybody, so that's pretty good. So it's 9:20 in the morning here now, so which is just after the time it is when most of you guys start watching this show, so it's not too bad for us.
I got to go get a 9-volt battery so people stop complaining about my smoke detector beeping all the time.
Nice.
I actually tune it out, man. I don't even notice it.
I stopped noticing it months ago, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get me a tarp so I can mix up my soil a little bit better. The stuff I have in the garbage cans and the totes and stuff like that, like I can't, because I got a big bag full of clay that I got to add to that now, that I brought back from the folks' place last weekend, and just trying to do it in a container like that's too hard. I got to be able to spread it out, and then I can move it into the containers for storage if I need to after I get it all mixed and done. Yeah.
I like it because when I go to the local smoke shop where my buddy works at, I go right past the community garden. So I'm gonna roll up a doobie, heading over there, talk to them today, head up to the smoke shop, come back, do some art. I ate some RSO earlier, so my back's not fucking knotted up so much right now. Feeling good and ready for a good day. Thanks everybody in chat coming and hanging out. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks everyone. So this Tuesday coming up, it sounds like we've got if I recall, Dave's not here, he's coming on with us. We had a guest cancellation. I know Sam was wanting to try and book Dave for a couple of shows down the road. And so I hope I didn't just pull a dick move on Sam when we did that last show. But hey, we got Dave coming in now a little sooner than later. But I think that's going to be a hell of a great show. We've all seen him lighten up pretty much every chat in every cannabis podcast across the continent, it seems, with his usual dick talk and whatnot. So maybe it'll be dick talk with Dave on Tuesday night, maybe. Anyways, yeah, everyone chat. We love y'all. Thanks for the support. And we'll see you Tuesday. Peace out, everyone.